WUEV. This is the Otters pregame warm-up. Dave Nguyen, and along with my partner in crime, Bill McCune. Bill, how are you?
I am fine tonight, but maybe not tomorrow night. But anyway.
Why are we going all the way to tomorrow?
Well, actually, I have a doctor's appointment at 1:45, and he's going to throw some kind of a scope down me to, he wants free TV. So anyway, I'll be under, and what time I get out, and I don't know. I'll probably be, out of this world.
You going to make it to the game tomorrow?
I doubt it.
You doubt it? So I'm going to go solo tomorrow, or maybe Preston and I will join on the broadcast.
Well, I'm just giving you a forewarning.
Give me a forewarning now, right before we're about to get on.
Right. So,
better late than never, right?
But I hope he clears up my problem anyway. But it's good to have you back. And,
I appreciate it.
And, welcome back to Otterville.
Yes.
Which I notice you are using that term all the time. Now, I should charge you.
You should charge? Okay.
Yes, because I originated that.
Okay. Well, you want $50 every time I say that, right?
No, I'll let you go at the end of the year. We'll work something out.
Okay. No, but it's good to be back. We were basically, because we left Monday for Pittsburgh. We were basically I wasn't here for a week, and
right.
The team. I'll let you try to explain it, because there were times where the offense hit the ball well, and there are other times where they couldn't hit a lick.
Well, that's true. Although the old reliable, and I used that phrase very, very famously, Ryan Long had a good series. What, did he have 2 home runs and about 2 or 3 doubles, and maybe 5, 6, 7, or 8, even 10 RBIs? I'm not sure.
It seemed like every time the Otters needed to get a rally started, or they needed a go-ahead run, Ryan Long was there to deliver.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, you'd be in that situation and you'd say, oh, here comes the man. Because I'll say one thing, you certainly promote that man. I mean, you do a good job, and I appreciate it, because I feel the same way. But he'd come up, and I'm saying, oh, Ryan, please, don't strike out. Don't strike out. Get a hit. Drive in that run. And then
for the love of God, please.
Yeah, right. And then you'd say, oh, and then there it goes down the line, and it's, hey, here comes one run. I'd say, oh, good, there's another
one. Yeah.
Because, I don't care what they bat, whether they bat 280, 290, or what, as long as they have the RBIs. That's all that counts, is the RBIs.
No, I agree, because one of the things that I think Bobby Siegel, the hitting coach, wants is not only stringing together quality at-bats, but when you do string together quality at-bats, you don't need to hit the long ball every time. You don't need to hit a double in the outfield every time. A couple singles, a double here and there. When you string together singles, doubles, you don't need a triple every time. You don't need a home run every time. When you string together quality at-bats, you get the leadoff runner on. You bunt him over to second. You hit a single in the outfield. Hopefully the runner from second scores. The small ball effect, I think, has worked pretty well for the Otters. For example, in game number 2 against the Crushers, Rizzatello lit off with a double. J.J. Gould walked. Then Griesaber hit a sac fly. That got in the run. Cronin bunted them over to get him over to second and third. And then Ryan hits a double. And then Ryan steals third. And because the catcher from Lake Erie threw the ball over the third baseman's head, Ryan scores. But all Ryan did was he hit a double. He used his athleticism to steal third and took advantage of a mistake.
Right.
So, little things like that happen, and I think that's when the Otters are successful, when they do the little things correctly.
Well, again, stealing the base, although I don't like stealing third all the time, I'll be honest, I know the Otters do it. Andy likes it. He's the manager, and you can't fault him. But the thing is, I don't like stealing third, because when you're on second, that's in a scoring position. But getting back to the home runs, when I was a young kid, and I'm talking, I was in grammar school, and I was playing
Little League, right?
No, we didn't have Little League in those days.
Oh, you had pickup ball, right?
We had pickup. You'd get 5 or 6 or 7 other guys, and you go and you get some newspapers, and they became the bases. There was no catcher's mask. I remember catching, and thank God I never got hit in the face, but I know one or two guys did. But the thing is, we didn't have fences. We just had open fields. They were, empty lots. And but I used to hit a lot of long fly balls. So I was known as the power hitter in the team.
Oh, yeah?
And
I think you still got it.
Well, and then I got into more organized. I was starting to play with former professional players, college players. And I was going for the long ball that I always hit as a younger. Mm-hmm. And then I had some of the older fellas tell me, hey, swing for base hits. Home runs will come natural. Don't be going for the home run. And then you learn, that's true. Unless you're a Reggie Jackson or a Jack Clark or Ted Williams.
Bo Jackson?
Or Bo Jackson. Just go for base hits. The home runs will come by themselves. Yeah, Bo Jackson could have been the greatest ball player that ever lived. I mean, Joe DiMaggio, in my opinion, is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You'll pick Jolton Joe over Ted Williams?
Ted Williams is the greatest hitter that ever lived.
Oh, but you're talking about all-around ball player.
All-around ball player, Joe DiMaggio is the greatest. But I think Bo Osborne, oh, boy. Bo Jackson could have been the best because he could field. He had a great arm. He had power. He had
Did you take a look at his thighs?
Speed.
Did you look at his thighs? They're massive.
Yes.
One thigh was bigger than two heads.
Right. But, I mean, he was just exceptional. The only thing he lacked, and he was improving year after year, and that was his making contact. He struck out a lot because he didn't know the strike zone. He was swinging at pitches that were out of the strike zone. And each year that I observed him, you would see that he was starting to improve. Mm-hmm. The strikeouts that went from 200, maybe the next year was 120, and then it was down to 75. And unfortunately, whatever, he's out of baseball. But the point is, he could have, and it's another one of those if. So
right. No, I think when I was on the Twitter sphere, I don't know if you're familiar with Twitter or all this social media, but there was a tweet, and the post said, reply with an athlete who could have been the best at his potential. And if it wasn't for injury, I think a lot of people said Bo Jackson was arguably not only the best baseball player or football player, but arguably the greatest athlete to ever live.
True.
Because not only that, he was a track star as well.
I was going to say he probably could have ran in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. He was that great.
Yeah. So we have the managers of both teams out at home plate to exchange starting lineups, and we'll get to them as well. The Otters have a different lineup today, and including a new face at second base, at least for today. So batting first for the visiting Schaumburg Boomers, playing left field number 21, Dylan Jones. Batting second, playing second base, one of my favorite names in this Frontier League, Jimmy Galuski.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember, he hits the ball really hard, if you remember.
Yeah, don't I? Yes.
Yeah, he had a couple doubles off the left field wall out there and has home run power as well.
That's right.
At first base will be number 11, Quincy Nieporty. Batting fourth will be the third baseman, Brock Carpenter. Batting fifth will be the hot-hitting and hopefully an all-star catcher for the Schaumburg Boomers in Nick Odo. He is clearly has been consistently one of the best catchers in the entire Frontier League. And we've seen him firsthand, not only his defense, but when he gets his bat going, it's ridiculous of how much power he has. Batting sixth will be the designated hitter, Matt Rose. And if you remember, Matt Rose was the guy who got ejected on the Patrick McGuff strikeout, and he got thrown out of the game, if you recall.
I think he broke his bat at home plate in defiance of the umpire.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And then batting seventh will be Clint Hardy. We know him all too well playing right field. Batting eighth will be Connor Oliver, the center fielder. And batting ninth will be Alex Polston, the shortstop. On the mound for the Boomers will be Peyton Lobdell, who is making his first appearance since May 17th. He had an injury that sidelined him for this most part of the season, so he's making his first start since May 17th, and maybe the Otters lineup can rough him up just a little bit. For the Otters, batting first, playing the designated hitter role, first time since The Windy City series, the second week of the year, or second series of the year, I should say, will be David Cronin batting leadoff. He'll be the designated hitter. Batting second, playing left field, will be Keith Griesaber. Batting third, the Frontier League Player of the Week, Ryan Long, who was 8 for 16, 8 RBIs, 2 home runs, and seemed to be in the right place at the right time every time the Otters needed a clutch hit last week on the road. Batting fourth will be Carlos Castro at first base, wearing number 28. Batting fifth will be the catcher, Mike Rizzatello, who started in right field for the first time this season on Sunday. Didn't do a bad job, but his natural position is catcher.
Yes.
And I think he calls a really good game. He called Austin Nicely's first win on Saturday. And I got to tell you, the chemistry that he and Mike had as the game went on, you could tell that Austin had something. And I got to give a lot of credit to Mike calling a good game behind the plate that particular day.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of you're giving credit to a catcher, and there's not many pitchers that do give credit to their catcher, except the good ones.
Right.
I mean, the good pitchers will always say, yeah, I had a great game because the catcher called a good game or whatever. Yeah, a catcher is so important to a team, but yet does not get the recognition. Mm-hmm. Thank God people like you, broadcaster, do recognize those people of generalship ability.
Right. Well, batting sixth will be Hunter Cullen. Hasn't batted sixth in quite a while. He hit his sixth home run of the year on Friday, a 2-run home run despite the Otters losing the opening game against the Lake Erie Crushers. Batting seventh will be J.J. Gould, who has started a hitting streak recently. Batting eighth will be Jack Meggs in right field. And batting ninth for the first time this year, the newly acquired infielder for the Otters, number 17, Jacob Adams. Adams hails from Conway, Arkansas, and he's an SEC guy. He went to the University of Mississippi. So we're about to get underway shortly, but what do you think are some keys to this particular game? This is the second time in as many as 2 weeks we've seen the Schaumburg Boomers at Bosse Field. The last time we'll see the Schaumburg Boomers, we played them in the first week of the month, and then we saw them 2 weeks ago, and then we're going to see them for a 3-game set this week.
I think we took 2 out of 3 the last time we saw them here.
Both times, both up there and back here.
Right, but the last time they were here, 2 out of 3.
Yep.
The one thing I don't understand, I shouldn't say that. That's the wrong phrase. The one thing I hope where the Otters are today was because of outstanding pitching. Mm-hmm. However, we just traded, or Major League Baseball came in and more or less absconded with some of our better ball players. Randy and the Irishman. We just took Welsh?
No, Welsh is here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Herbeck, but also Jacques.
Yes.
So there goes 4 pitchers that really were assets to the Otters.
Well, I think we acquired a couple new relievers, so we're going to wait and see. The national anthem is about to begin, and when we come back, we'll get back to some Evansville Otters baseball right here at Bosse Field. You're listening to the pregame warm-up right here on 91.5 WUEV.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
It's game time for the Otters on 91.5 FM WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
3-1. Long. Toward right. Toward the corner. Toward the foul pole and over the wall. Fair. Home run for Ryan Long.
First pitch. Cronin crushes it in the air to deep right field. He backflips it and it's way out of here.
Don't forget, Otters fans, you can catch every Evansville Otters broadcast on 91.5 FM WUEV, online at evansvilleotters.com, and through the WUEV mobile app.
Roxon deals the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the inside corner. Vale rings up Bissell to end it, and the Otters are going back to the postseason.
Now, let's go out to the ballpark for all of the action.
Welcome to Evansville Otters baseball. Here on the call, Dave Nguyen and my partner in crime, Bill McCune. Bill, glad to have you with me today.
Happy to be here with you, Dave.
So I don't know if you recognize, but in the last of that intro, that was Sam's call when the Otters won back in Normal to clinch the playoffs, and the pitcher on the mound at that time was Tyler Vale. He was the closer last year. He's embraced the starting role after the departures of McGuff, Wynn, and Pichu. Tyler is the veteran on the staff. He is the oldest player in the Frontier League. And honestly, he has not had as bad of a start to his season as his statistics show. He's had 3 starts on the year. It seems that the Otters haven't hit for him as of late.
I was going to say something similar to what you just said. If I recall, the last time he started the game here, he pitched pretty well. So, as you say, the pitcher can only win if the batters score runs.
So to the plate first will be Dylan Jones. If you remember, the last time we saw Jones, it was Jones and Galuski who were able to hit the ball very hard in order to have the Boomers a chance to win games against the Otters before. Vale the first pitch, and we're underway, and wow, that hits him.
Hit batter.
I don't. A lot of things are new to me in baseball, and I think this particular situation was one of them. Not only hit the first batter, but hit him in the ankles.
On the first pitch?
Yes.
Well, that's a warning. In other words, he's saying to the other batters, be careful. you may be next.
So maybe the catcher, Rizzatello, called it inside. It just went 2 inside. So the next batter, we have Jimmy Galuski.
But getting back with Mr. Jones, I believe.
First pitch, called strike on the outside corner from Vale. Fastball right there. 0-1 the count.
I believe the previous time that the team was in town that he got on base almost every time and lead off the game. So he's only completing something he
throw over to first, not in time.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember him stealing, but I remember him being on base all the time. And this guy here, didn't he bank one out of the ballpark?
Yeah, once or twice. I think when John Stanley was on, I think he hit a home run.
That's right.
0-1, ground ball foul down the third base line. Past Ryan Long, the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week. He was 8 for 16 last week with 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. It seemed that he was doing everything he could in order to get his team to win.
Well, you know, I was thinking, I don't know, you put out that press release or something?
Preston did. Preston does that.
Okay, well, I recall saying, I hope he makes the All-Star team.
We'll find out tomorrow. The voting ends tonight.
Right?
Voting ends tonight for the All-Star team.
Okay. After this pitch, I'll say something.
Vale with an 0-2 count from the belt. Swing and miss. Good breaking ball for strike 3 and out number 1.
Now, I hope Mike remembers that pitch. 2 strikes low outside, which I always keep saying that's the outstanding pitch for a strikeout. Let's hope he remembers that pitch and we get 2 strikes. Anyway, what I was going to say about the All-Star, we know Ryan made the All-Star team last year, but last year you had a north, south, and an east, a west and an east All-Star team.
Yes.
So there was more players that could qualify.
The first pitch from Vale, called strike on the outside corner.
So this year, you're going to be limited. The whole league is going to have an all-star. So that means someone that made third base last year for the West and someone who made third base for the East, they're going to be competing if both are still in the league.
Well, I don't think Ryan should have a problem. He's first in the league in home runs and RBIs, 7 and 33 respectively. And he doesn't have a bad glove there at the hot corner. The 0-1 will be fouled behind the catcher, Rizzatello. Count moves to 0-2 to the first baseman, Quincy Nieporty.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. When you the managers and coaches who are looking, who do the evaluating, I believe you do too. You have a say in who
I do. Yes,
makes the All-Star team.
I was able to get a vote for the All-Star team this year. It's something I've never done before.
Well,
so
yeah.
I felt honored and privileged to have the opportunity.
Well,
Next pitch is in the dirt.
Yes.
Count moves to 1-2.
Yeah, and I was going to say, that was, we talked about 2 strikes, throw that low outside curveball or slider, whatever it may be. And Mr. Vail just did, only it was a little too low. But it was the right pitch.
1-2 the count, righty-righty matchup. We got Jones on first. The ground ball will be foul.
Foul ball.
Drifting foul. Castro there to make the judgment out there in foul territory on the first base line. Count will remain at 1-2. And there's been a handful of plays that Castro's made on the first fair foul. Had a handful of plays where he'll catch the ball on a line drive, and then he'll get that runner napping and have the unassisted double play at first.
Yes, and I want to ask you, too, about Castro the other night. Get doubled off at third base or fly ball, whatever it was.
The 1-2 swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Vail. There's 2 away here at the top of the first.
Yeah, the other night when they were on the road, someone hit a fly ball. Castro was on second, and then he was doubled off at second base. And,
yes, we can address that, absolutely.
Right, and my explanation was he overran third and didn't touch third on the way back. He shortchanged it, and therefore the rule says you must retrace your steps, which apparently he didn't, and that's why he was called out at second base. I don't know if that was...
It was confusing. So just to let the audience know, we have Brock Carpenter at the plate, the third baseman. He's batting .250 on the year. He has waiting for his first pitch of the at-bat. Vail from the belt, the first pitch.
Strike. Ooh, what a throw from Mike. Wow. Right on the money.
Right, it's that New York toughness right there. Unfortunately, that pitch was called a ball.
Yeah, I know. You keep mentioning that quite a bit on the radio when you're on the road. New York, New York.
Yeah.
What a wonderful town.
A little expensive for my taste.
Yeah.
1-0 the count to Carpenter. Runner on first, 2 outs, top of the first. The pitch.
Strike.
That'll be a called strike right there at the letters.
And the umpire and the ball player just said to the umpire, "Was that a strike?" And he just said yes. And he said, "Okay." Anything if he called that a ball, we'd have to check on his Sears and Roebuck's license.
Sears and Roebuck?
Oh yeah. That's what he used to get him.
Some throwbacks right there. Runner goes. Riz throws down. That throw is way off the line. Goes into center field. And
it's a
successful stolen base for Dylan Jones.
Right, and if I may, in defense of the catcher, Mike had to rush that throw because the Jones that we said is a nemesis on the bases, he was running, and he had, and I'm not exaggerating, if I was to say he had 5 or 6 steps towards second before Vail ever released that ball. I don't care if Johnny Bench was catching, he was going to throw him out.
Johnny Bench, right? Is it fair, right? Game 6 of the World Series. The 2-1 will be fouled out of play. Right behind Rizzatello, the catcher. Count moves to 2-2 with 2 outs.
Yeah, Johnny advertises that some kind of cream to stop the pain or something, but he's kind of hard on signing autographs. He doesn't sign autographs too well.
No? So you must be pretty special if you get an autograph from Johnny Bench.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yes, he don't sign them.
Vail checks the runner at second to 2-2. Inside. And then that was a nice breaking ball. It was a good judgment call right there. And I don't think it was a bad pitch there from Vail. Count goes full. 2 outs. Runner on second, and Dylan Jones, who was hit by a pitch in the very first pitch of this game, then decided to steal second. The payoff pitch from Vail. Ground ball over to the second baseman, Adams. Throws over to Castro in time. The Ole Miss Rebel gets his first action of the game as we head to the bottom of the first. No score right here from Bosse Field. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
This summer, the Frontier League heads to the Big Apple as its brightest stars battle the Can-Am League's finest in the historic first-ever Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Celebration. It's July 9th and 10th in beautiful Rockland County, nestled in New York City's suburbs. Slide to rocklandboulders.com for tickets and lodging information to see the best baseball stars shine in New York. Again, visit rocklandboulders.com and show support for your team in the Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Game.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, the historic Bosse Field, the third oldest baseball stadium in America, home of the Evansville Otters. Dave Nguyen and Bill McEwen back here on the call. To the plate will be Peyton Lobdell here on the mound for the Boomers. His first start since May 17th. He is 0-2 with a record of 4.22. To the plate for the Otters as follows will be Cronin, Griesaber, and Long. Cronin playing the DH tonight. The new second baseman for the Otters is Adams, man from Ole Miss, out in SEC country.
Well, you know, we were talking about the All-Star. Now, Ryan Long, who you advertise all the time, which is nice, if he were to make the All-Star team, and we hope you, and I know you voted for him, so he's got one vote.
I can confirm that right. I did vote for Ryan Long.
Right,
yes.
So there's one vote. But my question is, will those folks that live in Chandler, is it Chandler?
Crandall.
Oh, Crandall, thank you. Yeah, Crandall, okay.
Outside of Dallas.
Okay.
First pitch to Cronin. It'd be a ball inside.
That's still Crandall's home. Anyway, will they be making that trip to New York? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Fly into Newark, if they are and they're listening, fly into Newark, and
Cronin rips this to right field. Going back is Hardy, and he'll make the catch at the wall. I got to tell you, Cronin got the good part of the barrel on that ball. Just a great play there by Hardy in right field.
Yes, he did. And when you look at the flag, and the flag is blowing to left field, so the right fielder jumped up to make that catch, which might have gone over the fence. So if the flag wasn't blowing as briskly as it is, it might have been a home run.
I think it should have been. I feel like Cronin got robbed.
Yeah.
But there's one away. Keith Griesaber to the plate, hitting .265 on the year. First pitch to Keith will be a breaking ball in the dirt for a ball. Count moves to 1-0.
Yeah, I was saying for Long's parents, fly into Newark, New Jersey, and then get rent a car and go there, because going into LaGuardia or JFK,
yeah, it's a nightmare.
You got problems.
Next pitch was low in the dirt to Keith. Count moves to 2-0 to the St. Louis native. The 2-0 from Lobdell will be way inside.
Yeah.
Near the letters, count at 3-0. Keith had to back up in that particular pitch. Did not want the pitch to wear him. The 3-0. Ball 4. Yeah. And it'll bring up the man from Crandall, Texas, Mr. Ryan Long. He's got white shoes on. Ryan White Shoes Long today.
Oh, is he generally wears different ones?
I think he's a. I could have sworn he was more of a black cleats kind of guy.
Okay.
But
well,
there's the football player Billy White Shoes Johnson. Maybe Ryan might be starting to trend. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Lobdell. Counted 0-1 to Ryan Long.
that was a little low and outside, and Ryan went after it. He's got to stay away from those bad pitches.
I told him about that at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, he goes, I said, walking out of the clubhouse, says, oh, by the way, that pitch low and away, stay away from it.
Oh, okay.
But he made sure to say a friendly comment to me on the road trip. I'll wait for the next pitch. The 0-1. I'll be in the dirt. Going to second will be Keith Griesaber standing up with a successful stolen base. So I mentioned to Ryan I interviewed him, and I mentioned to him that, what is it with you on the road? Clearly you hit well here, but what is it about, not getting that similar swing on the road? And he responded politely, sometimes that's just baseball. Slumps happen here and there, but after the week he had last week on Sunday in the locker room, he goes, so how about that for not hitting well on the road? Swing and a miss. That was that high fastball. That was high and away.
Yeah, that was high, and his bat was a little slow on that. So, Mom, Dad, tell him to stay away from those high ones, too.
I'm sure he'll hear quite a bit from the next phone call home. 1-2, lined over the shortstop, Polston, a base hit.
RBI.
Rounding second,
RBI.
heading to third and home is Keith Griesaber, sliding home safely. It's another RBI for Ryan Long. Otters on the board.
Now, Dave, he did that quite often last year. He just tacked that ball to left center, and he did it quite often last year, as I say, and I hope he continues to do it more this year.
RBI number 34.
34.
Last time I checked, that's a sweet number. If you recall Sweetness.
Well,
Walter Payton, Sweetness.
Yes.
The running back from the Bears.
I was reading something in the Knights of Columbus. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't the Knights of Columbus. It was the American Legion magazine. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe it when I read this, that
throw over to first, Long gets back there safely.
I didn't realize in 1927, that was the year the Yankees had those home run hitters.
Oh, was that the Murderers Row?
That was it. And
first pitch to Castro is fouled to the dugout of the Schaumburg Boomers on the third base side.
And Babe Ruth hit his 60th. He was not the MVP.
Was it Gehrig?
Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig, and I couldn't believe this, had 173 RBIs. My God. And you got Babe Ruth ahead of you, and you still have that many. It must have been a lot of runs.
Next pitch is fouled on the third base line by Castro. Count moves to 0-2.
Now, I think Lou batted before the Babe. So that's why he wiped the bases clean before the Babe got up.
I remember reading the stat on them. We can pull up their Wikipedia page later on in the broadcast, but that was some team, and they set so many records it wasn't even funny.
Oh, yeah.
The 0-2 to Castro. Fly ball into right center field. Oliver will come under it and make the catch for out number 2.
Well, I tell you, I brought that up for the fact that Ryan had 34, and I believe last year he had like 52 or something. Mm-hmm. There was something. I think he led the team in RBIs last year, home runs and RBIs. So,
and he's on a fast track doing that. I think he's just had some confidence in himself and I think relaxing a little bit at the plate. Another guy who's had some confidence is this guy right here, Mike Rizzatello.
Oh, Mike, my boy.
Throw over to first is not in time. Now, Long hasn't stolen many bases this year, but I think there are a handful of pitchers, I should say, who throw it over to first out of respect to his athleticism.
Yeah. Well,
maybe it's those white shoes.
Maybe. It might have been Fred Astaire's shoes.
Okay.
You know, maybe Ryan got him on a yard sale.
First pitch to Riz, ground ball down the third base line. That goes foul.
You know, when you were on the road, you were talking about some pizza place, and you said to your memory, that's the only time you ever remember eating a pizza with a knife and fork.
Oh, yeah, Giordano's. Giordano's in Chicago.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
And
it might be some of the best pizza I've ever had.
I know. I heard you say it.
David Cronin's favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The 0-1 to Riz. Outside for a ball.
Giordano was one of my scouting directors with the Kansas City Athletics and the Oakland Athletics. We used to wait for this play.
The 1-1 from Lobdell. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He'll toss it over to first to Nieporty in time for out number 3. Ryan Long with RBI number 34 as we head to the top of the second. 1-0 Otters. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bill, I got to say, it's glad to be back. Glad to be back home after a week away. And there's nothing quite like playing at Bossy Field. I think after we're going into, I guess, the end of month number 2 of me here being in town, I'm just fascinated about just the ballpark in general, whether it's how the field looks, the history. And I think it's a pleasure for players on both sides to have a chance to play at a field like this.
Well, it is a pleasure, Mike, or Dave. Why?
Yeah, you're good. It's all right.
Well, no, my memory.
With Mike Radomski.
You're right, and due respect to my good dear friend.
Right.
May he rest in heaven. That's where he belongs because he was a great, great man.
I've only heard wonderful stories.
But no, it is. It's something, you know. When you're traveling the United States in baseball, being in these major league ballparks or the minor league ballparks, and you're talking to so many old timers.
Fly ball, left field, playable for Grease Aber, takes a few steps forward, makes the catch for out number 1. That's a important out as Odo, the catcher, is at the plate.
But you talk to some of the old timers, and you say, well, where do you live? And you say, oh, Evansville, and oh, Bossy Field, yeah. Yeah, I played there in 1937. I played there in 1940. I mean, these people, at one time, minor leaguers all played here, and they can recall. So, you know, I can't recall half the ballparks I ever played in. But, you know, when you talk about Balsy Field, yes, a lot of memories.
0-1 the count. A good strike on the inside corner from Vail. Count at 0-1 to Matt Rose, the designated hitter today. Next pitch to Rose is a breaking ball away. Evens the count at 1.
You know, one of the Hall of Famers that has been visiting here lately within the last 10 years. I think he was here once or twice. But the
1-1 from Tyler Vail is a ball outside. Count moves to 2-1.
A good friend of mine is in the Hall of Fame, played here in 1952 with Quincy. And he doesn't live too far from where you announce ball games.
Oh. Will be a foul ball in front of the pitcher's mound. It bounced off home plate, so the count remains at 2-2.
I'm speaking of the White Rat. Whitey Herzog.
Okay.
Not
too familiar. I know of the name, not too familiar with it.
All right. Well, he played here in 1952 with Quincy.
Okay.
And that was the year I was supposed to be here, too.
Vail from the belt, the 2-2. Check swing.
Yes,
does not go around, says field umpire Bob Davis. Riz wanted that call especially. You could see him jumping up and down.
Well, I thought it was. We've seen umpires call strikes on things less than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. Yeah, Whitey the Rat.
Vail digs into the dirt on the pitcher's mound. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. That pitch low and away. I believe that was a slider that bit. It's going to be out number 2.
You know, see how catchers think alike anyway. But no, Whitey, you know, he managed the Cardinals. He managed Kansas City. I used to play cards with him down in St. Pete when he was the New York Met farm director. So
the first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner to Clint Hardy, the man who broke up Patrick McGuff's no-hitter.
I wonder how he's doing now.
He had one start. I can check on the internet for you, but he had one start out there in Missoula, Montana. Next pitch is another slider there from Vail.
Come back with that pitch.
0-2 the count.
Come back with that pitch.
I think he's going to go inside on this next one. He's got to paint the corners a little bit. Got to go inside, outside.
Well,
that's my
your
observation.
Your philosophy.
Okay.
Yes.
See, went back inside. There's a ground ball down the third base line. Vail will not be able to make a play. He slides onto the grass to field the ball, but using his speed, Hardy gets down there safely. It's an infield hit.
Hey, listen to you instead of me, and there he got a base hit.
So, in other words, every pitcher should listen to you because you've been a former catcher.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just say that when you make a batter look like a fool, you keep throwing the same pitch until he learns to avoid that. Keep throwing it.
A fair assessment.
Yes.
Bring up Connor Oliver, the center fielder. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher matchup. First pitch, a fastball inside, just low for a ball. Count at 1-0. There's 2 outs here. Vail has 3 strikeouts on the day thus far through 1 2/3 innings. First hit allowed by Vail as well. The 1-0 upstairs. Count even at 1.
You know, I think an old ball player, and I think he's listening. At least I hope he's listening. I talked to him today. My good friend Bobby Botts, one of my old teammates from West Allis, Wisconsin. He and I were talking, and, of course, he listens to us quite often, so hopefully tonight he's listening. But he'd agree with me. When you make a guy look like a fool.
The 2-0 will be a called strike on the outside corner. Count moves to 2-1. The runner, Hardy, with a decent lead off the first base bag once Oliver will get back into the batter's box. Hardy digs in. He's got a decent lead off first. Oliver, the batter, 2-1 the count. The pitch from Vail, just missing inside. Count moves to 3-1.
Another run. Now, Bob Botts probably was one of the best, if not the best pitcher I ever caught. Very intelligent, a spot pitcher, could put the ball where he wanted, and, of course, pitched in the major leagues. So that was proof.
3-1 the count. The pitch from Vail outside for ball 4. So 2 quick outs to begin the inning, including a strikeout to Rose. Now a single and a walk puts runners on first and second. Still 2 outs in the top of the second. 1-0 Otters after Ryan Long's RBI single, his 34th of the year. And I think even Stevie Wonder could see that Ryan Long will make the All-Star team tomorrow.
Well, I hope this manager here votes for him. There were many newspaper writers, sports writers, who did not vote for Ted Williams to be the MVP.
What? That's outrageous.
Well, because he was not.
First pitch from Vail to Alex Polston, the shortstop, way inside for a ball.
Yeah, he batted .406, and yet Joe DiMaggio was the MVP because Maggio had that 56-game hitting streak.
Right.
But the point is, Ted Williams made sports writers. He was the envy of those.
Fly ball, shallow, and catching it would be J.J. Gould in the outfield for out number 3. Runners stranded on first and second. Vail gets out of a jam, the Easton, Pennsylvania native. We head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the call. We're in the bottom of the second. To the plate will be Hunter Cullen, who hit his 6th home run of the season last Friday. Man from Newport Beach, California. Happy that he has eclipsed his home run total from last year. It's doubled. He takes the first pitch, ball outside.
Yeah, I can't understand why Hunter's not in that lineup every night.
You can't make up his speed out there in the outfield.
I know, and he's a great defense, and like you said,
fly ball, shallow left field, playable for Jones, and he will be able to make the catch, avoids the sun in his eyes for out number 1.
It seems like every time he is seated for 3 or 4 games, when he comes back, he gets 2 hits. And a home run.
Mm-hmm. At one point, there's the first game of the road trip last week. He was 3 for 4, 3 singles, a stolen base, 2 runs. He did everything right.
And that was coming off the bench from not playing for a couple of days.
Yes.
Yeah. He seems like that all the time, and I wonder why he's not playing every day. He's probably the best center fielder.
First pitch is high for a ball to J.J. Gould, who has increased his batting average to .208 on the year. Came up big in Saturday's win against the Crushers, as it gets a called strike on the inside corner. Count moves to 1-1. So on that day, particularly on Saturday, he was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs, and a stolen base. That stolen base happened to be stealing home on a wild pitch from the Crushers pitcher that went behind the catcher. And that was a big 3-run inning for the Otters at that time. It gets a called strike on the outside corner. Count moves to 1-2, and the pitch will be driven to left field, and that will be caught. That ball was hit hard, but Jones got a good step on it to make the catch for out number 2.
It was a solid contact, and I thought it might drop in, but it hung up there just enough for that left fielder to get over there. But it was good. He did put a lot of wood on that ball.
To the plate now is Jack Meggs, and we want to say hello to his mom, Miss Mother Teresa.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Jack was asked to videotape his batting practice the past couple days on the road. And Jack's looking to find his swing back, and he's got confidence. And if he gets on base, he rips this to – what a great catch there by Neiporty.
You ain't getting there. There was –
He was robbed of at least a double, because that would have rolled all the way to the right field wall. Jack put solid contact on that pitch right there. He's a little frustrated, but we have to tip our cap to Mr. Neiporty, the Boomers' first baseman. We'll head to the top of the third. Otters still up 1-0 after the Ryan Long RBI. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Signorama Evansville for their support this season. Signorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Signorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at signorama.com/in-Evansville. Signorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball here on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV. Dave Nguyen and Bill McEwen here on the call. We're in the top of the third. Otters up 1-0. RBI single from Ryan Long, his 34th on the season. To the plate will be the top of the order for the Boomers. Be Dylan Jones, followed by Jimmy Galuski and Quincy Neiporty. Jones, if you recall, the first pitch of this game was hit in the ankles, the back left ankle of Mr. Jones. First pitch is a strike a ball from Vel. And Bill, I got a question for you as my parents are listening in. So my father wants to know, is it considered a stolen base or a wild pitch if the runner advances on on a particular ball that wasn't caught by the catcher.
It's not a stolen base, no.
Okay. So that would be my mistake.
Yeah, if it's a wild pitch, it's not a stolen base, right?
Okay. So depending on the rule, so if it's a pass ball or a wild pitch, ground ball over to Castro at first, backhand by Castro, tosses over to Vail in time for out number 1. That was a pretty defensive play there by Carlos.
Yeah. So your father is listening to the game, and he texted you or whatever it's called.
Yes, he did. That's exactly what he did.
Right. And so your father's on the ball.
Yes.
Okay.
He was a third baseman and wore number 20.
Oh, really? Okay.
Growing up in Philadelphia, everybody wanted to be Mike Schmidt.
Yeah. Good old Mike. Actually, Mike lived on the outskirts of Philly. Somewhere.
I think so.
Yeah, somewhere. I remember there was a story that it was a bad winter. And, again, this is a story, whether it's rumor.
First pitch to Galuski is a called strike on the outside corner. Count moves to 0-1.
And you know how we in the East get a little more snow than we do here in the Midwest. And
just a bit.
Yeah, and it was like 2 or 3 feet of snow. Mm-hmm. So he had a tractor that had a blade on it, a snow blade. So
0-1 swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there from Vail for strike number 2.
He was supposed to have a home that had a big driveway, and after he did his driveway in his own property, then he went around to the neighbors and he would do their driveways for X amount of money.
Ah, okay.
So you lose a little respect for a guy that's making $1 million, and he's going to charge a neighbor for a couple.
0-2 breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 3.
That's Mr. Jimmy's second, a strikeout, more or less on the same pitch that he struck out the first time on.
And that will be, to my calculation, strikeout number 4 on the day for Tyler Vail.
Yes, it is. Two for Jimmy, 1 for Quincy, and 1 for Mr. Rose. No relation to Pat.
Right.
Did you know Mr. Rose, Pete Rose, managed Florence?
I did not.
Yes, he did. Not Pete Rose Sr., Pete Rose Jr.
Ground ball. Vail plays it as it never went foul. He tosses it over to first and Castro. A 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Vail. I got to say, we talk about baseball IQ. That was a perfect example right there, where they were waiting for the ball to drift foul. It stayed fair rolling down the grass the whole way. Vail used his head and said, you know what? I better make a play happen, and tossed it over to first for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It is 1-0 Otters, and you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in
Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
Baseball, Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Live here from Bossy Field, historic Bossy Field. To the plate will be a newly acquired Otter playing second base. Will be Jacob Adams. He attended Ole Miss, so he knows a thing or two about competitive baseball playing in the SEC. First pitch to Adams is a foul ball down the third base line. Count moves to 0-1. And I need to say hello to my mother. I'm assuming she's listening. She knows that I'm okay, and I'm safe, and I'm somewhere safe.
Was it Rosalie or Rose?
Rosaland.
Rosaland, yeah. Hello, Rose.
Fly ball, center field. Oliver takes a few steps forward and makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, that's the first time I've had an opportunity to see that boy. He took 2 swings, one he fouled off and one he hit. Looks like he's got a quick bat. He looked sturdy up there. Brief appearance I need more of a look because I like what I see so far.
Yeah, no, he made a pretty good play at second base back in the first inning.
Yeah.
Here's the one of the normal second basemen for the Otters, and David Cronin. First pitch to Dave is a called strike, and my mom just texted and she says, "Hello, Bill."
Thank you, Mom. Well, it's nice that your mother and father are listening. They're proud of you.
I know they are. Next pitch to Cronin is way upstairs for a ball. Count even at 1.
You know, I played quite a few years minor league baseball. I played semi-pro baseball. I played high school baseball. All total.
The 1-1 would be in the dirt for a ball.
Maybe I played 1,000 ball games in my career. You know, my father saw me play one high school baseball game and one professional baseball game. That was it. My father was a businessman.
The 2-1 ripped into right field. A base hit for Cronin.
So
we want to give a special hello to his mom and dad. They tune in all the time as well.
Oh, I know it. And again, like I said, you know, it's so nice when your parents are supporting you. As I said, my father only saw me play in those 2 games, yet my father was really the person that gave me the opportunity to play baseball. He started the McEwen's Boys Club when we were only like 9 years old, and then fortunately he was a businessman, so he provided.
First pitch to Keith Griesaber is a ball inside. Keith walked his last time up, and then he scored on the Ryan Long RBI single.
Right. No, so my father, you know, had his own teams and made sure we had the equipment and everything else. So he didn't see me play, but he certainly provided the opportunity for me.
Well, my dad growing up, my grandfather ran an air conditioning business, and my grandfather only got to see a handful of my father's youth games, whether it's basketball or baseball. Yeah. Swing and a miss on a good breaking ball there from the pitcher Lobdell. Count even at 1 to Keith Griesaber. There's 1 out. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Otters the score. Thanks to the man on deck, Ryan Long.
Well, as long as they're supporting you, that's all that counts. Whether it's financially or in attendance or listening to you on the radio now, they're just expressing their love in different ways.
Oh, I know. Greatly appreciative. I remind them every day. 1-1 the count to Griesaber. Righty on righty matchup. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball inside from Lobdell. Count goes to 1-2. So it seems that Lobdell is trying to jam Griesaber with at least 2 pitches of them that were inside. Long on deck. Cronin singled moments ago. He's on first. There's 1 out. The 1-2, and that was 3 straight pitches that were high and inside. Griesaber swing and a miss for strike 3.
Well, he's an asset in left field and shortstop. I know he strikes out a little. Let me see what he's batting.
265.
265, which is not bad. If he cuts down on those strikeouts, he'd be an all-star. What's things going?
Cronin goes, and that ball was dropped by the catcher, Otto. The pitch was a ball. Count it 1-0 to Ryan Long.
He gave himself away that he's going. You know, if you study runners on first base, Dave.
Also, my mother wants me to tell you to tell me to call her every night.
Oh, that's right. Yes. You know, well, I mean.
Cronin at second. The 1-0 to Long is outside. Count moves to 2-0.
You know, I'll tell you, I had a few fights in my life. I got a broken nose, and I got, different things. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm revealing this for the first time ever to anybody.
2-0 outside.
Talking about your mother wants you to call her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a habit of forgetting sometimes.
again, I got a lot of punches in the mouth and the head and the chest and whatever. But the hardest and the most painful punch in the mouth I ever got was from my father. And that was because I had just come back from playing ball, and I met this girl. She asked me to take her to the movies. I did. And by the time I got home, it was like 2 in the morning.
Atta guy.
And I opened that door, and I got the biggest punch in the mouth. The blood was spurting. And my father said, all you had to do was pick up the phone, call.
Long will pop it up foul. The count moves to 3-2.
And you know how truthful that is. All you got to do is call, because as a parent myself, as a grandparent, a great-grandparent, you know, you wonder, why isn't my child home? Where is he? And then you hear there's accidents. You say, oh, my God, I hope he's not in the hospital. And all you got to do is pick up that phone and say, hey, I'll be home late. And that's it. And you relieve everybody.
Waiting for my mother's reply as we speak. The payoff pitch to Long. Chopper over to third. Good cutoff there by Carpenter. Throws it over to first and Nieporty for out number 3. Cronin stranded at second as we head to the top of the 4th. 1-0 Otters the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
For those listening in Otterville land, well, you like that one, huh?
Otterville land?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, all right.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the call. We're in the top of the 4th, live from Bossy Field, historic Bossy Field. Tyler Vell on the mound for the Otters.
Located in Otterville, a suburb of Evansville, Indiana.
That's right. That's right. Carpenter to the plate, followed by Odo and Rose. Carpenter grounded out to the new second baseman, Adams, for his first plate appearance back in the 1st.
I tell you, we got a nice crowd out there in Bud Light Lime Patio.
Yes. First pitch is a ground ball over to Long at third. To Castro in time for out number 1. Looked like a routine play there for Ryan.
I would say so myself. You're right. He's got good hands, soft hands. A lot of times when you're scouting and you're describing in your scouting report, you say he's got soft hands or he's got hard hands.
Okay. To the plate will be Nick Odo, who should be an all-star catcher. We'll find out tomorrow. First pitch to Odo. Fastball for a strike 1 right down the heart of the plate. Count at 0-1. Odo coming into this at-bat, hitting .323 on the season. Vale from the belt, the 0-1. That'll be a called strike 2 inside.
He used to be a good friend of mine, associated with the Kansas City Royals. in a way I set him up on his job. His name was Steve Korchek.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of him. He was a catcher with the Washington Senators back in the 40s.
The 0-2 from Vail. Swing and a miss. A good breaking ball there from Tyler Vail. That's strike 3 and out number 2. Go ahead. Your friend Steve?
Anyway, Steve Korchek caught for the Washington Senators, and he had the unfortunate name of Steve Korchek, Iron Hands.
Okay.
He had a few pass balls in his day.
We'll bring up Matt Rose, the DH today. He struck out from Vail back in the second. The first pitch, be a called strike inside. Counted 0-1. Tyler Vail right now, 3 2/3 innings, 31 strikes, 14 balls.
But I'll tell you, I think I might have said this to you before.
The 0-1, we called strike 2. Good curveball right there from Vail. 0-2 the count.
Steve Korchak ended up being the president or the dean of Manatee Junior College. And I stopped.
0-2, Riz set up outside. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. Try to get Rose to chase that slider. Doesn't bite. Count moves to 1-2.
But it was the right pitch, low, inside, breaking pitch. It just was a little too low. But Steve Korchak was having a college meeting with his deans.
The 1-2, breaking ball away. Count even at 2 with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. 1-0 Otters to score. Ryan Long with the RBI single that scored Keith Griesaber back in the first.
So I stopped off at the college to say hello to him, and his secretary says, "Oh, he's at a meeting." And I said, "Oh, okay."
The 2-2 from Vail, breaking ball away. Count at 3-2. So if Riz were to choose a pitch selection from Vail, I'd go that fastball. I'd make it probably inside.
I'm going to come back with the outside curveball, low outside.
Not a bad pitch either.
Oh, we'll see.
The payoff pitch from Vail. Strike 3 called. It was that curveball. You know a thing or two about baseball, Bill.
Well, you know, I was lucky. Put it that way.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Vail. Another 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Otters up 1-0. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
This summer, the Frontier League heads to the Big Apple as its brightest stars battle the Can-Am League's finest in the historic first-ever Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Celebration. It's July 9th and 10th in beautiful Rockland County, nestled in New York City's suburbs. Slide to rocklandboulders.com for tickets and lodging information to see the best baseball stars shine in New York. Again, visit rocklandboulders.com and show support for your team in this Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star game.
A glorious afternoon of baseball. Dave Nguyen here on the call with Bill McCune, my partner in crime. Carlos Castro to the plate. Carlos flew out to center field his last time up. It'd be Castro, Rizzatello, and Cullen, the next three batters. This pitch is ripped to left field, over the fence, a home run. Home run number 6 for Carlos Castro. It's 2-0 Otters.
I don't know, Dave, but if you'd watched that left fielder, which I always say, those balls that go far and deep, you always watch the outfielder, his reaction, and it tells you what's going to happen. When I saw him put it in overdrive and run as hard as he could back there and then stop, you knew it was over the fence.
2-0 Otters the score, and Carlos arguably has some of the best power on the team, and he clearly showed it right there.
Well, he did, and it was a high inside pitch. And we know Carlos goes after some high ones once in a while. His weakness is that low outside pitch that strikes out so many people, but he did unload on that one.
First pitch to Riz, ground ball over to short. Polston backhands and makes a great play to throw to Nieporty at first for out number 1.
You know, Mike is not getting his hits, but he's making contact, and that's what counts.
Well, so hitting coach Bobby Siegel makes a good hitting chart of hard hit balls, where they were hit, etc. And he has a motto that hit the ball hard equals wins, or hit the ball hard wins the game. So I think that'll be clearly noted on his particular stat chart.
Well, you know, I wonder if he, I'm not saying he copied because I don't know, but I know I had given, put it this way, Andy had reference to some of my work when I was scouting. And what I did is something similar. A line drive, you would put a straight with an arrow. If it was a ground ball, it was dots. It was this. You described, you had the diamond, and what you did is you described where it was. So you could look at it, like I would give it to our major league manager, and I'd say, hey, here is Dave. He hits everything to left center. So now we know we're going to pitch you inside because you hit everything to left center. So I had given Andy these charts of the different ones on the Otter players.
0-2 to Cullen, swing and a miss for strike 3. He had a first pitch that was a called strike on the outside corner. Foul ball down the third base line for strike 2, and a swing and a miss right there. Cullen a little upset with himself. He heads back to the dugout. Bobby Siegel talking to him to make sure that, well, everything's all right, and you know, we know Hunter is going to have at least one more at bat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's going to try to make up for it. To the plate now would be J.J. Gould, hitting 208 on the year. He had that hard hit ball to left field back in the second. Unfortunately, it was called out. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth, called strike on the outside corner to J.J., counted 0-1.
Well, we're in the bottom of the fourth inning, and as I look up on the scoreboard, I see that
next pitch, a fastball from Lobdell outside for a ball. Count moves to 1-1.
Schaumburg's got 1 hit.
Yes.
And the Evansville Otters have 3 hits.
Correct.
So we're in the fourth.
Breaking ball for a strike inside to J.J. Count moves to 1-2.
So we're halfway through the game, and it's been 1 hour. So if you look at
Sounds good to me.
Oh, yeah, you'll be out of here by 9.
We hope so. With baseball, because it's a timeless sport, you never know what to expect.
Yeah, but there's still 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs and 3 bases. And you hit a round ball with a round bat, and you got to hit it square.
Okay. So is that tips for me? The
Yes.
1-2. Fly ball, and that will drop for a base hit into left field. J.J., first hit of the day. He had a handful of hits over the weekend against the Lake Erie Crushers. Jack Meggs to the plate, and if you remember back in the second.
Oh, did he get robbed?
He was robbed. A great play there by Nieporty. He took a few steps off the bag and made a great glove catch that robbed him of at least a single.
Well, you described it as a possible double, and I was going to agree with you because that would have went down and hugged the line, and that right fielder had to run at least 150 feet down there to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And one base is 90 feet, and the other base is 90 feet, so...
First pitch to Jack. Fly ball down the third base line. Count moves to 0-1.
So you had 150 feet versus 180 feet. I think Meggs might have won that race.
No, he leads the Otters in stolen bases, so if he can get on base more consistently, it can allow him to steal more and get himself into scoring position a lot better. Throw over to first is not in time. And I think it was important to see J.J. Gould excel at the plate over the weekend. He had that big day on Saturday. He was 2 for 3 with a walk, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and he also had a big hit on Sunday in the series clinching win over the Crushers, the 0-1 to Meggs, outside a breaking ball for a called strike 2. But on Sunday, J.J. hit an important single, and then the next batter was Cronin. Cronin doubled that allowed J.J. to score, and that was ultimately the difference in the game, as the Otters led 3-0, and Welch allowed 2 unearned runs in the bottom of the 5th on Sunday. So good to see J.J. getting back into the swing of things. 0-2 to Meggs. That pitch is outside.
So what time do you guys get back from Lake Erie? I'm going to say about 1 o'clock in the morning?
1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning Eastern time, 12:30 Evansville time.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So I did send a text message to my parents when I got home on Sunday night. It was just really late. 1-2 the count to Meggs, the man from Sammamish, Washington. Be a breaking ball low and away. Count even at 2. And Jack played in the Oakland Athletics organization last year. Attended and graduated from the University of Washington. His father is the head coach of the baseball team there. And his mother likes the color purple.
All right.
The 2-2 ripped to right field. Going back is Hardy. And it go all the way to the wall. Rounding third, heading home is J.J. Gould. An RBI double for Jack Meggs. He got that ball fair on that particular pitch. It's 3-0 Otters.
Yes, he did. He got his double. But more importantly, he got the RBI. That's what counts.
2 runs scored in this inning. There are 2 outs. And to the plate will be the second baseman, Jacob Adams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this guy bat. That we saw him swing twice, and I like the 2 swings. It'll be interesting. Ole Miss.
The Rebels.
I think Archie graduated from there, if I'm not mistaken.
Did. Archie and Eli.
Yeah.
Just to get back to Meggs, so I mentioned earlier that Andy and Bobby wanted me to videotape him during his BP over the road trip, and I'm pretty sure Jack went to see hitting coach Bobby Siegel. The first pitch to Adams, a called strike, outside, counted 0-1. But I'm sure after looking at the video of his particular swings during batting practice, it seems that as of today, Meggs may have made an adjustment. He's got 2 hard hit balls, one of them for an RBI double.
Well, both have been inside pitches, so he got a real good swing, and they were up there around belt high to letter high, and again, they're good pitches to hit. You don't want to chase those low ones. There's a low one.
Ground ball to third.
Going to be a
Adams
base hit.
will make his first official hit as an Otter and his first professional hit of his career.
And
look at that.
And they're throwing the ball out. Yeah.
This will be the 7th man to the plate, and David Cronin can do some damage.
Oh, here comes...
Cronin singled his last time up.
Oh, did he single? It was a shot. Well, the first time up, he put one up against the fence.
Yes.
The second one was a line drive over second baseman's head. So he's hitting the ball well tonight.
Well, there's a mound visit right now, and the big fun fact of today, on June 25th, 1999, with his appearance in the top of the 8th inning against the Yankees, Baltimore's Jesse Orozco set a new Major League record for most relief appearances.
Right.
Orozco passed Kent Telcuve, who made 1,050 relief appearances. Orozco ultimately finished his career with an all-time best 1,252 games pitched, with 1,248 of those being relief appearances. Played for 9 teams during his 24-year career, that spanned over 4 decades, from 1979 to 2003.
I think most of those wins, if you look, you'll see were with the New York Mets.
Okay.
He was a great reliever for the Mets.
Cronin to the plate, and I'll just finish up my thought on Orozco. Is the first pitch to Cronin will be delivered from the belt. Lobdell will fire. Cronin shows bunt, and he pulls his bat back. It's a ball. Count it 1-0.
Yeah, that was the throw to the third baseman, and there's no way he's going to bunt. Got 2 outs, and you got a runner on third base. You don't bunt with a runner on third.
Meggs now at third. At first is Adams. Adams a bit antsy there at first base. The next pitch to Cronin is outside. Count moves to 2-0. So to finish my thought on Orozco, he may be one of the most underappreciated players in the history of the game.
How great.
Never a superstar, but always reliable and effective with a career ERA of 3.16. And I do not know what the statistic known as a FIP, but his FIP was 360 with a solid 8.2 strikeouts per 9 innings.
You know, if I remember him, I remember him, but I'm trying to remember what he looks like. And
the 2-0 is foul behind the plate.
I think he wore his hat a little tilted. It wasn't straight. It had a slight tilt. He was a left-hand pitcher, and he wore his hat a little slant. But he was a good pitcher. I'll say that. I saw him pitch many times.
If you finish with a career 8.2 strikeouts through 9 innings, I think that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Runners on first and third, 2 outs for the Otters. Fly ball lifted to center field. Going back is Oliver to the warning track, and he makes the catch. The Otters send 7 men to the plate. They scored 2 runs, a solo home run by Castro to lead off the inning, and an RBI double for Jack Meggs. We head to the top of the 5th. We're 4 up and 4 down. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the tri-state, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Evansville Otters baseball, Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We're at the top of the 5th. Otters score 2 more runs back in the bottom of the 4th. Solo home run from Carlos Castro, his 6th of the year. Tied with Hunter Cullen for 2nd place. And Jack Meggs with an RBI double that was ripped down the right field line.
Yeah, they hit that ball pretty well that particular inning. That's what you always keep saying. You know, they got to bunch those hits together to get the runs, and they did that inning.
100%.
Yeah.
Clint Hardy followed by Connor Oliver and Alex Polston for 7, 8, and 9 in the Schaumburg Boomers order. First pitch to Hardy, called strike on the outside corner. There's that curveball right there from Tyler Vale, counted 0-1.
Yes, and he's executing it pretty well. He's got quite a few strikeouts on that particular pitch.
Vale from the belt, the 0-1. That slider misses. Count even at 1.
Yeah. So between a good curveball and a good slider, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's 6. The 1-1, chopper. Couple bounces to Gould. The throw to Castro. Nice play there by JJ for out number 1.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one, I guess.
I got 2 on Rose.
Right.
1 on Odo. 2 on Galuski.
Oh, Odo. That's my mistake. Okay.
2 on Galuski and 1 on Nieporty.
Right. Okay.
To the plate will be Connor Oliver. He walked his last time up back in the 2nd.
Yeah. Odo, I didn't have him. That's it.
No worries. There's a computer in front of me to help me out as well.
Oh, well.
First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Fastball right there from Vail. Counted 0-1 with 1 out. We're in the top of the 5th. 3-0 Otters the score. Otters have 3 runs on 6 hits, including a home run from Carlos Castro, RBI single from Ryan Long, and an RBI double from Jack Meggs. Swing and a miss on that nasty slider right there from Tyler Vail. Counted 0-2.
You're calling a good game. That's exactly what they are. You're calling good sliders, good curves. Yeah, you've got a good insight.
Trying to get better a little bit each time.
Well, your mother and father are proud of you, and so am I.
Oh, thank you. 0-2 the pitch. Be a breaking ball low. Count moves to 1-2.
Again, the right pitch.
Just missed.
Just didn't go. You know, it's like you go fishing and you throw out the bait. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't.
But you got to throw out the line and reel it back in every once in a while.
Right.
1-2 the count. Vail from the right side of the rubber. He'll fire the 1-2. Ground ball hit sharply to second. Good play there by Adams.
Good.
And throws it over to Castro in time for out number 2. Adams played that on a couple of hops right there in the outfield grass on the edge of the right field grass.
Look good.
And got it to Castro in time for out number 2.
Right. You know, speaking of throwing the bait out, I don't know if you saw the TV where there's a great white shark off the coast of New Jersey.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and 2 fishermen were out, and they were fishing for sharks, but not not that type. And
first pitch from Vail is low and away to Alex Polston.
This big white mouth opened up anyway, but the point was, it was down in Manasquan, New Jersey.
Okay.
You know how far that is from where I live?
Right around the corner?
You ain't kidding.
Okay. Manasquan.
Yeah, big white sharks.
The 1-0 is inside. Count at 2-0 to Polston, hitting 173 on the year.
Yeah.
No, but you don't find great white sharks in New Jersey.
No,
if anywhere,
you don't.
You find them on the West Coast in California.
Right, or up in the Boston area.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, up in the cold weather up there coming down.
Because I know that San Francisco, there's a 3-0 count, but San Francisco, it has a lot of seals in the ocean on the West Coast.
Oh, they love seals.
Yeah, so need to be pretty careful.
Yeah.
The 3-0 from Vail will be in the dirt for ball 4. So Vail, 4 2/3 innings right now, 38 strikes, 22 balls. The former 5th-round pick out of the Oakland Athletics organization back in 2010. So that'll be a walk, and then we'll bring up the top of the order, Dylan Jones to the plate. Jones is 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch, the first pitch of this game back in the first. Grounded out to Carlos Castro in the 3rd. Tyler Vail went to cover the bag back in that particular inning. First pitch from Vail is a foul ball down the 3rd baseline. Count moves to 0-1 with 2 outs. Top of the 5th, 3-0 Otters the score.
And if you notice, your new second baseman, Mr. Adams, actually is in the outfield. He's not in the infield.
Same thing with Gould. his heels are touching the edge of the outfield grass. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball there from Tyler Vale. Count moves to 0-2.
The farther you play back in the infield, the more range you got. The only thing is you better have a strong arm.
0-2 count to Dylan Jones. Runner on first. The pitch from Vale. Swing and a miss and a good breaking ball there from Tyler Vale for a strikeout. Out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 3-0 Otters the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
91.5 WUEV Evansville.
This pitch is ripped to left field. Over the fence, a home run. Home run number 6 for Carlos Castro. It's 2-0 Otters. On the air, was that your question?
No, I was going to say, when is the All-Star game going to be announced?
I think the official rosters will be announced sometime tomorrow.
Oh, good.
I think maybe by the end of tonight.
Okay.
Deputy Commissioner Steve Tassler,
yeah,
who we had a pleasure to have on one of these broadcasts last week. First pitch to Keith Griesabers inside. Count at 1-0, but I believe Tassel will notify the managers of all the teams tonight of who made the All-Star team.
Okay.
And then there will be an official announcement tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
This pitch is grounded to the shortstop.
Wow.
And will be thrown over to first. Good play there by Polston for out number 1. So Griesaber on the ground out to short, Long, and then Castro on deck.
So there's a chance that Preston might have a release to the
public.
Well, to the sports editors and all that tonight. There's a possibility. So
possible, yes.
Yeah, that would be in the newspapers and so on tomorrow. But Preston might release that tonight if he was to receive it.
There were a handful of honors on the All-Star ballot. One including this guy right here. Long has an 0-1 count. The pitch. In the dirt. Count even at 1.
Pretty good breaking pitch there. Low, but a good breaking pitch. Good thing he didn't go for it.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that we've noticed about Long, at least from my point of view, yes, we've seen his ability to hit it over the fence. The 1-1. This is ripped in right field, and it will drop for a fair ball.
Double.
Long will head to second. I don't know. Do you think that would be a possible error on Hardy, the right fielder?
Not to me. It's a double.
We'll wait for the official score.
A double. That's what counts. And we got an official double. You have to give it to him. The right fielder come in, made a nice play. It's just that it was too short. And he fell down trying to reach for it. So Ryan never stopped. I mean, he smelled blood like the Sharks. And he just went to second standing up. So, no, that's a base hit.
To bring up Carlos Castro, he drove his last pitch in the 4th inning, a solo home run over the left field wall. That was one pitch, and he took it for a ride. It takes this pitch as it is a ball outside. Count it 1-0. Long at second. Long 2 for 3 today with a single and a double.
You know, you're talking about Castro's home run, but Mr. Cronin, if he was playing in some other ballpark, might have had 2 home runs tonight.
I think so.
Because both of his shots to right and to left center, they were home run balls in other ballparks.
1-0 the count to Castro. Steps back into the batter's box, the native of La Romana of the Dominican Republic. The 1-0 outside. Count moves to 2-0.
So you're describing Cronin's hits.
He was also nominated for the All-Star team.
Well, the point I was going to make is maybe next time his parents will bring you over there to Giordano's and get one of those pizzas.
Always a pleasure to see the Cronins. The 2-0 outside, ball 3.
So Dave was on the All-Star roster, and who else?
We had Rob Calabrese.
Oh, really? Calabrese?
Yep. And we had Tyler Beardsley. And Jake Welch.
Yeah.
And the Ivy Leaguer, Taylor Wright. We have a fly ball down the right field line that's foul.
Mr. Wright was on that? Really? And he's just been with us for a while. He's from Brown University, if I'm not mistaken.
And his sister is attending Penn.
Okay.
Yeah. Very smart family. And
right. I think I stand to be corrected. Isn't Penn University an Ivy League school?
They are.
Yeah. Okay.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Lobdell.
Yeah.
Nope, they have a new pitcher. My apologies. It looks like they have a new pitcher in Mr. Martinez.
Yeah. Penn State is not an Ivy League school.
That is correct.
Yeah, Penn State. Now,
that is a very public school.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who attends Penn State. Chopper down the third base line. Long will get the third. The throw to first is not in time. Long touches home easily. It is 4-0 Otters. Going down to second base is Castro.
We're waiting on the...
So we have a single.
And an error.
And then an error. An E5, I believe.
Yes, on the throw. He would have beat it out even with a good throw because, again, the third baseman was, well, you look at him now, and that ball just, what did it go, about 20 feet from home and then died. So that third baseman, you look where he had to come in and had to make a rush throw, and Castro would have had to beat. However, to the advantage of the Otters, it was a bad throw, and a run scored.
This pitch is ripped by Riz into the outfield, and Rizzatello is on the board with a single.
Mike is hitting the ball solidly, and like I said, eventually they'll start falling in, which they did. And now, just for the sake of argument here, be careful the way you talk about Penn State. I had 2 grandchildren graduate from there.
Oh, no, I love that school, but I laughed because you're correct that it's not an Ivy League school. It's
right.
I had buddies who attended Penn State, and let's just say they're known for their social atmosphere.
Oh, that I don't know anything about. All I know is
I do.
My granddaughter and my grandson both graduated.
Oh, it's a wonderful school, and I attended a football game. I attended a whiteout there.
Okay.
Where all 110,000 people wear white.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, they do it every year. Hunter Cullen to the plate. He's got runners on the corners with 1 out. The pitch from Martinez. He shows bunt, then pulls his bat back. Count at 1-0.
Oh, Mr. Hunter. Well, again, you got runners on third. You don't want to be bunting, even though the third baseman's shading towards short. But look how close he's at. He's up on the grass. There's no way Hunter's going to get a base hit.
1-0 is fouled out of play. Foul behind the catcher, Odo. Count even at 1, and Hunter I was told earlier that Hunter got a new bat shipped today.
Oh, well, I was going to say, if Hunter was playing on a regular basis, I think he would have been on the All-Star selection committee as well.
1-1 the count. On first is Rizzatello. On third base is Castro. This pitch goes behind the catcher, Odo. Castro touches home easily. Otters extend their lead to 5-0.
You know, I didn't realize how fast Castro is. He got some wheels.
Now, I did not see the official ruling, but with that,
That's
what
a
would
pass
you,
ball.
That was a pass ball?
That's a pass ball. The catcher, it should have been caught. And you know how I defend catchers. But I'm going to have to get Mr. Odom a pass ball.
Okay. Well, Riz will trot over to second without a throw, advancing on the pass ball by Mr. Martinez. 2-1 the count to Hunter. His pitch is inside for a ball inside at the letters. Count at 3-1. Otters have 5 runs on 9 hits. Schaumburg has 1 hit and 1 error.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Lou Gehrig earlier, right?
Right.
Today in 1934, Lou Gehrig hit for the cycle.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yankees beat the White Sox 11-2.
You know, the most dramatic thing is when he was at Yankee Stadium, he said, "I'm the most happiest person in the world," and he's dying. Yeah.
The 3-1, swing and a miss on a good breaking ball from Martinez. Count now full to the man from Newport Beach, California. Hunter surfs every now and then. Living out there on the West Coast.
West Coast is pretty nice. Nice weather. A lot of taxes. San Diego, beautiful, beautiful country, San Diego.
Beautiful city.
Oh, yes.
You know a thing or two about San Diego,
yes,
right?
I do. Town and country, I used to stay there.
The payoff pitch, swing and a miss from Cullen. That'll be strike 3 and out number 2.
Yeah, it used to be down the street from Jack Murphy Stadium, which, again, no longer there. Now there's a new stadium.
To the plate now is J.J. Gould. He singled his last time up and scored on the Jack Meggs RBI double. Meggs on deck. J.J., man from Florida, knows a thing or two about nice weather. Attended Florida State his freshman year, then went to a junior college in Florida and finished up at Jacksonville University. So in other words, he never left the state.
Right.
First pitch to J.J. is away for a ball. Count moves to 1-0. Rizzatello on second. He singled. That put runners on the corners, and then Castro touched home on the wild pitch, or the pass ball, I should say, to extend the Otters' lead to 5. The 1-0 outside. Count moves to 2-0 to J.J. Gould. He was not only finished his collegiate career in the state of Florida, but he was drafted by the Miami Marlins as well. The 2-0 to J.J. will be a fly ball, and that will drift foul down the first base line. Count moves to 2-1.
And I'm wearing a Marlin shirt and a Marlin hat right now.
Well, that is because your brother, Jack, Trader Jack, as I recall, was the manager of the 2003 World Series champion Florida Marlins.
And that's what that thing says.
You're proudly wearing that polo right now with the old school Marlins hat.
Yeah.
JJ swings and a miss at a fastball upstairs. Count even at 2.
Yeah, I got a few Marlin things. In fact,
Did Jack give you a ring?
No.
What?
I had nothing to do with them.
Why not?
I didn't even go to the World Series. He wanted me to go to the World Series. I said, no way. I'm not going there. I've had enough.
The 2-2 is foul. Meggs with a catch off the net behind home plate.
I left spring training in 1990 in Yuma, Oklahoma, Arizona.
Okay.
And Dick Hager and I were riding to the airport, and I said to my brother Jack, I said, Jack, When the season ends, that's when I end. No.
The 2-2 grounder over to Neporty at first base. He touches the bag. That'll end the inning. The Otters scored 2 more on the board. They lead this one 5-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The tri-state area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We just wanted to confirm with the official scorekeeper today, doing an excellent job consulting with the official ruling. 2 runs, the 2 runs count, but RBIs not necessarily for the Otters.
Right. You know, if I just can finish up that point I was making before we got cut off on the third out, I said to my brother, Jack, when the season's over, I'm finished. No winter baseball, no World Series, no playoffs, no going to Puerto Rico. I am going home, and you won't see me until next spring training. I just got tired of going to these playoffs, the World Series, the winter baseball. You never rest. You know, a baseball scout works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You don't stop.
Sounds like a pretty cool job, though.
Yeah, if you're not married or if you're old.
Swing and a miss there from Jimmy Galuski. Good breaking ball there from Tyler Vale as we start the top of the 6th.
Sharp breaking curveball. You're calling them correctly. Yeah.
0-1 the count. Galuski has struck out twice from Vale. The 0-1. Check swing, and on that slider right there, the base umpire, Mr. Bob Davis, says that Galuski doesn't go around.
You know, if you go away to spring training in February, and then you don't, I'm talking about a regular scout now, and you finish up the end of September.
Fly ball in the air. Gould and Cullen will try to make the catch. Gould gets under it, and there's one away.
But then if you're working in the major leagues, you go to winter ball, and then you go to the playoffs. The playoffs and World Series and the winter meetings are the worst things in the world. You get up like 5:30 morning, and you start working at 6:30, and then you go to bed at 3 in the morning, and you get up back, and you never sleep. All you do is, you know, what do you need? You ask the other general managers.
First pitch, a called strike inside to Quincy Neporty.
And
counted 0-1. Neporty struck out in the first, grounded out to the pitcher in the third.
And the general manager going to say, oh, I need a third baseman. And you immediately say, I got him.
0-1, ground ball on a couple hops to Long. The man at hot corner, made that one look easy. That looked like a quarterback throw there at third for out number 2.
Right.
Looked like a 20-yard pass there from Long.
Right.
the former high school quarterback.
Yeah. So, in essence, Dave, if the general manager or the scout says, we need a left fielder, we got him. You need a left-hand pitcher, we got him. You need a bullpen, whatever, we got. You name it, we got even extra bat boys.
What about broadcasters?
Actually, we did sign one.
Okay.
Pete Swanson, he's still working in the majors.
Is he?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he. The last I remember, he was with.
First pitch from Vail is away for a ball to Carpenter. Brock Carpenter, the third baseman.
I'm not sure he's with Arizona or Colorado. Pete Swanson. We hired him in '84. I remember that well. Yeah, Pete Swanson. And of course, that's TV and radio, Yeah, we interviewed him.
The 1-0. I'll be just a bit upstairs. Count moves to 2-0. It was right around the upper right-hand part of the strike zone. Trying to get that corner was Tyler Vail. Umpire doesn't give it to him, so it's a 2-0 count. The 2-0. Fastball. Strike one.
You don't remember Bill Marquette, do you?
No.
He was a pitcher with the Red Sox, Boston Red Sox. A real good pitcher, and then he was the pitching coach at the Yankees when Billy Martin was the manager. And Mambo.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. That breaking ball right there. I believe it was that curve from Tyler Vail. That curveball low and away.
It was a good curveball.
Count even at 2 with 2 outs.
Well, when Billy Martin got fired by Big George, Mambo got sent down to Albany, Georgia, which was their Double-A club in the Eastern League, which Reading is in. And he said to me,
the 2-2, that would be a slider just a bit outside.
Right pitch, though, same when we always keep talking, low breaking pitch out. Anyway, Mambo said, do you need a pitching coach? I said, yeah, we're interested. And he said, well, you talk to your brother for me. And I said, certainly, I like you, and I'll recommend you.
Payoff pitch, fly ball in the air to left field. Cullen believes he has it, and he will make the catch for out number 3. But finish your thought. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, Mambo said, oh, by the way, what are you paying your coaches? I said, between $30,000 and $40,000 a year. He said, forget it. He said, I'm working Double-A, and I'm making $60,000. So Mambo didn't get the job.
Okay. Well, another 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Vail. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 5-0 Otters the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network at 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Bossy Field. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the call. Looks like we will have another pitching change.
Yeah.
We got what looks to be a lefty on the mound for the Boomers. We'll get to him momentarily. But to the plate will be Jack Meggs, followed by Blake Adams. And then the top of the order in David Cronin. Meggs had the RBI double back in the 4th. Adams had that single that followed it. The Otters have 5 runs on 9 hits. I was going to find the new pitcher momentarily. the Aaron Rozak, who used to be a starter. Otters have seen Rozak a few times this year.
Well, Dave, every pitcher from high school, college, and professional baseball all start as starters. It's some manager along the way that says, hey, you're more effective in the bullpen. You take one of the greats that's in the Hall of Fame, one of my friends, Goose Gossage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, you want his telephone number? I got it right here in my wallet.
Right now.
I mean, on my cell phone. Really, I'm serious. I got.
No, I believe you.
Well, I'll show it to you in between innings.
Okay.
But Goose was a starter here in the Midwest League when he was pitching up there in Appleton for the White Sox minor league. And he turned out to be one of the all-time great relievers, and he's in the Hall of Fame. I tried to get Goose to come out here and be one of the guests for the Friends of Bossy Field. Not Friends of Bossy Field, Tri-State Hot Stove League.
Okay. Mags has a 1-1 count. Had a ball, and then the pitch before was a strike. The 1-1 will be ripped into left field, but caught by Jones for out number 1.
I'll tell you what, he's getting robbed.
He's hit the ball hard each at-bat today.
That he has. I mean, that was a line drive. He got robbed of a line drive by the first baseman. Now he gets robbed by a left fielder with a line drive. But he did get the double in between. So his father is happy. 1 for 3. It's a 300 batting.
First pitch to Adams is a breaking ball away. Count at 1-0. Adams had his first hit as an Otter back in the 4th. He also flew out to center field in the 3rd. The 1-0 will be grounded foul in front of the Otters dugout on the first base side. Count even at 1. Now, Bill, you don't need to show me. I believe you.
I'm going to show you. People don't believe me. A lot of times they'll say, I always got proof.
Rozak in relief. He's a former starter. He is from Burnsville, Minnesota. Played for the Southern Illinois Miners last year. Next pitch is a strike. Count at 1-2 to Jake Adams. The 1-2 from Rozak is drifted foul down the third base line. Count at 1-2. And you are clearly showing me Goose.
Just had it.
Goose Gossage, right?
Yeah, I just had it and I lost it.
No, I saw it.
Did you see it?
I did.
Okay.
The 1-2 away in the dirt. Count even at 2.
Goose will come here and speak for $10,000. Really, that was the last time I talked to him. I asked him how much he wanted to come. He said $10,000.
Well,
So
I clearly don't have that.
Well, no. Well, when you give
the 2-2 will be fouled behind the catcher Odo.
when you give Bob Gibson $35,000, getting Goose is a bargain. Yeah, you don't get those ball players for nothing anymore. It's a shame.
The 2-2 from Rozak. He'll fire. Pitch is outside. Count goes full.
A guy's playing in the major leagues today. He's making about $2, $3, $5 million, and then he has a signing that you're going to pay him $50.
Signing bonus.
Yeah, no. I'm just talking some kind of a money fair like we have the Tri-State Hot Stove.
The pitch is ripped foul once more down the third base line.
And he's a guest, and you're paying them like $20,000, $30,000 to come, and then they're charging you like $50 for a signature. Where would he be if it wasn't for the fans that, just like here in Evansville?
Right.
Where would you be if the fans didn't come in to support you?
Right.
So it's a robbery.
Payoff pitch ripped to left center field, but that is caught. I got to tell you, Dylan Jones has hustled out there in left field, and he's robbed a handful of Otters of base hits.
Well, I'm also going to say one thing. That Mr. Adams is impressing me with the bat. Now, he just hit a line drive out there to left field, which was caught, but He got a base hit, but he also looked good his first time at bat. So, well, we may have to make some changes. And that's going to be up to Andy. I'm just going to say we may have to make them.
Cronin to the plate. First pitch to Dave. He shows bunt and then pulls his bat back. Count is on 1-0. Cronin, the Orland Park, Illinois native, as we noted earlier, that he's a big fan of Giordano's deep dish pizza, and I've had at least one slice of that. The 1-0 outside. Count moves to 2-0 to Cronin. And have you had Chicago deep dish before?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so it's super thick. I can show you a
yes.
picture.
No, I know. I know
Okay.
what it looks like, yes.
The 2-0, called strike on the outside corner.
I used to stop off like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on the way going down Michigan Avenue, going from the Western Hotel down to the Palmer House Hotel where I was staying. And I would stop off and have a cup of coffee with people.
Oh, okay. The 2-1, swing and a miss there from Cronin. Count even at 2 with 1 out.
Yeah, and I'd have like $1,000 in my pocket, and still I wasn't afraid. But today, I don't know. That was, what, 40? Let's see, good 40 years ago, yeah.
2-2 the count to the Chicago Cubs fan. The pitch, ground ball over to Polson at short. He can't manage to field it well. Cronin gets to first, and it will be an E6.
Yeah, that was, the shortstop didn't put the glove down far enough to the ground. It just went right under his glove. Again, if you notice the way he feels, his back is straight up. He don't bend. He just reaches with the glove. And unfortunately, that time he didn't go down far enough.
Keith Griesaber to the plate. He's had a decent day. He has a walk and a run scored. He struck out and he grounded out. He's been a very big contributor to this offense as a whole. He takes a called strike inside. Counted 0-1 with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, Otters lead 5-0, 5 runs on 10 hits. The Boomers of Schaumburg only have 1 hit and now 2 errors.
Now, Keith has played, shortstop and left field
And second.
Oh, I was going to say, has he played second?
If you remember back to opening weekend, he was the second baseman. Because Cronin was trying to get over a minor leg injury.
Right. Okay. I do recall that now. Yes. Okay.
And he's been a DH a handful of times.
Yeah. Well, I was speaking of playing left field mostly. That's what he's been mostly a left fielder.
And what I like about Keith is, the Otters have a handful of things that they sign up for to go out in the community and serve. And I think Keith, a few weeks ago, went to a school and I think was reading a handful of stories to a group of elementary school kids. So Keith is a good example of what you want to call an all-around baseball player and a great man to represent your organization.
Well, that's one of the things the Otters do. They offer to the community, schools and civic organizations and clubs, players go in and
2-1 is ripped foul down the first base line.
As you say, be on TV and radio and speak at different functions, a Rotary Club or something like that. Yeah, the Otters have always been available, and they're always very representative.
2-2 the count to Keith Griesaber, the St. Louis native. Cronin goes, and that'll be ripped foul down the third base line. Count even at 2. Keith was drafted by the Los Angeles Angels organization, and this year he attended the River City Rascals spring training, and we'll see them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. River City cut him, but the Otters picked him up, and he's been a very good addition to this ball club. The 2-2 outside. Count moves full.
Well, didn't you make reference to one of the pitchers that we had that played for Lake Erie, that beat Erie? Lake Erie? Wasn't one of their pitchers? Am I mistaken of saying he got back? It was the first time he played his college baseball around that area.
Oh, no, Jake Welch. Oop, Cronin's caught in a rundown. And he is safe. So,
wow.
Cronin using his athleticism. So, the pitcher, Rosick, threw a ball over to Nieport. So, Cronin then went down to first. And then on the relay back to the pitcher, he was able to slide under the tag. And now the manager for the Boomers, Mr. Jamie Bennett, is questioning the call.
And I bet what he's questioning is that Cronin ran out of the base path.
Right.
And that is probably what the call is, because you cannot run, to left field to avoid the tag. However, he might have taken a step or two in the opposite direction, then fell down where the first baseman took a swipe at him and missed. So therefore, he got back safely. So I'm going to say it was a good call by the umpire.
So, in a way, Dave catches a huge break.
Well, I know he doesn't like to hear this, but I more or less can call every time Dave's going to steal, because he gives himself away. And this pitcher here picked it up.
Keith Griesaber with a full count. There's one out here in the bottom of the sixth. Otters up 5-0. 5 runs on 10 hits. The payoff pitch to Griesaber. That will be foul.
Now, if you notice on that particular play, Cronin was about 2 foot off first base, standing flat-footed, and then ran with the release of the ball because you had a 3-2 count. But still, there's only one out. See where he's at now? He doesn't have a lead at all.
The 3-2, and that'll be foul once more behind home plate. Castro trying to make the catch in the dugout. Count at 3-2.
Now, it would be interesting if Dave was to do identical and Keith was to miss it. Would he be thrown out at second because he's not getting a lead at all?
The 3-2 ripped into center field, and that will drop for a base hit. Rounding second, heading to third is Cronin. He's being sent home. Standing at second with an RBI double is Keith Griesaber. Six nothing Otters.
Yeah, he gets credit with the double on that particular play. I was checking to make sure because that was an unusual. That center fielder was going to field that ball and throw it, but he overran it.
Ryan Long to the plate. He's done some damage today. RBI single and a double so far. First pitch to the man from Crandall, Texas, is a strike that was high and outside.
Yeah, I thought it was a little
0-1.
I thought it was a little high myself.
Ryan White Shoes Long, 0-1 the count. Griesaber at second the pitch. He'll be low in the dirt. Count even at 1 to the former Texas Tech Red Raider.
It'd be nice if he hit one in the Bud Light line patio.
Well, I think you remember on the road trip, he was due for a home run for the longest time, and then he hit 2 last week. The 1-1 would be away for a ball.
That I thought was a strike.
Well, it was a breaking ball, and Ryan did not bite. Count moves to 2-1.
I know. That's what I thought was funny. That I thought was a good pitch, but you said he didn't flinch.
The 2-1, swing and a miss. Bit on that breaking pitch right there to Ryan Long. Count even at 2.
That was a good pitch. I mean, a good swing. Did Mr. Odom get hurt on that one?
Maybe. So to recap for the listeners, if they did not know, Ryan Long was Frontier League Player of the Week last week after going 8 for 16, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, a handful of runs, and had a fantastic series-clinching catch at third in the 9th inning to give Taylor Wright his 4th save of the year on Sunday. The 2-2 to Long. Lifted in the air to left field. Hustling is Jones, and he won't be able to get there. It's foul.
Did you say Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright's mother is coming?
I believe she's here.
She's here, yes.
I believe she is.
Okay, I wonder if she's listening.
They do when they're back home.
Right, okay. Yeah, it's so nice when the parents come to visit their sons. And we spoke about that earlier.
She is, Mrs. Wright is from Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Across the river from Philly.
Yes. Grease Saber goes. And this ball is fouling out of play. Hit the roof. And will ricochet all the way down. Count remains even at 2. And I want to thank, Taylor Wright's sister managed to make the road trip, and she made a dessert. It was a Oreo truffle, and boy, it was fantastic. It was, so picture in a way the chocolate glazed munchkin at Dunkin' Donuts, wrapped in or dressed in a vanilla icing. It was fantastic. Swing and a miss for Ryan Long. That's strike 3 and out number 3. A RBI double for Keith Greasaber scores David Cronin. Otters extend their lead by a score of 6-0. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Evansville Otters baseball, Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We have a 6-0 lead for the Otters. They've played well at the plate, in the field. They've hit a home run by Carlos Castro. They've strung together a handful of quality at-bats that turned into runs. Seems like they're doing everything right today, and it all starts with the man right here on the mound. Mr. Tyler Vale is wearing the top of the 7th. To the plate will be the catcher, Nick Odo, followed by Matt Rose and Clint Hardy for 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Vale digs in on the dirt. The pitch will be a good breaking ball. A slider that definitely bit for strike 1.
Oh, what a bite on that pitch. Wow.
And I think we've seen throughout the game that Vail, his confidence has continued to grow throughout the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, from what I've seen tonight from Mr. Vail, he's got an outstanding curveball and a slider, which he just threw again.
Counted 0-2 as a swing and a miss there from Odo.
Now, if you notice, on both pitches, there are sliders down, knee-high, breaking down to his shoe, inside. He ought to come back with the same identical one. He looks bad.
That will be a drop third strike. So a toss over to first will finish off the out. For out number 1. So another strikeout and 2-3 to finish off the putout. And we have out number 1.
I got 8 strikeouts. Is that what we have?
That sounds like right to me.
Okay, that's not bad for a pitcher in the 7th inning. That's better than 1 strikeout per inning.
He's a veteran. His classification is a veteran, but he's been around the game of baseball since he got drafted out of high school, so he knows a lot. And I think it's good to have him on the roster because he knows a lot about, especially from a pitcher's perspective, the ins and outs of the game.
Okay, now he's thrown 4 pitches in this inning. 3 were sliders. That was the 4th slider, and the other pitch was a curve. So 5 pitches, 2 curves, 3 sliders.
1-1 the count, and both of those pitches have been working today for Vail. 1 out, top of the 7th, 6-0 Otters. The pitch.
There it is again.
Just missing. The batter, Matt Rose, did not bite on that breaking ball. Count at 2-1.
So he has thrown 6 pitches, and not one have been a curveball. I mean, not one has been a fastball. I'm sorry. That's good. That's good.
2-1. Called a strike outside.
Now, I know Monday morning quarterback, but I was going to say before he threw that, now's the perfect pitch to throw a fastball.
Do you read that column, the Monday morning quarterback?
Yes, I do.
Do you? Okay. The 2-2, high and inside. That was a fastball right there.
Right. But, after throwing the curveball, slider, curve, and then you come back because the batter's thinking, I'm going to get another breaking pitch.
Tonight's attendance, 1,034, 1034.
Payoff pitch, and will be foul down the third base line.
And that was a pretty good curveball, too.
Well, just to remind the listeners and viewers on the Otters Digital Network that currently at Bossy Field, it is an attendance of 1,034. Decent crowd. But Thursday's Bud Light Thirsty Thursday, so maybe it'll bring out more people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Payoff pitch.
Strike 3.
Called strike 3 right on the outside corner.
Yes.
And the batter, Rose, is upset with that. He struck out now 3 times tonight. Back-to-back strikeouts for Vail. And Clint Hardy to the plate.
And if you want to remind the fans, he's the one that stayed at home plate and broke the bat and got thrown out of the ball game earlier in the previous appearance. See, he was expecting a breaking pitch.
First pitch from Vail to Hardy is a ball just missing outside. I got to say, the communication between Vail and Rizzatello, the catcher behind the plate, has been excellent.
Oh, yeah. I think it's been, he's calling a great game. You're right. That's what...
the 1-0, fastball right on the outside corner for strike 1.
My good friend Bobby Botts, who, again, ex-Major Leaguer, ex-teammate here in Evansville, who I was talking to today, that's one of the things he was talking about as far as pitchers throwing 85 miles an hour and winning.
Next pitch is away for a ball. Breaking ball that missed. Count moves to 2-1.
Compared to the ones that are throwing 90 to 100 miles an hour, he said they're wild. The 85-mile-an-hour pitcher's got good breaking stuff, and he's throwing strikes. And I'll tell you, Botsy was one of the better pitchers, and it's amazing how the old-time pitchers...
2-1, lifted in the air, foul territory on the first base side. Castro backs up, and now making the basket catch is Adams. Welcome to Evansville.
Yeah,
it's out number 3.
That was some catch. I'll tell you what, Mr. Cronin's the second baseman, but you better find a spot for that new guy, Adams, after that particular catch and what he's doing in the field.
Well, it's stretch time here at Bossy Field. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Seventh inning stretch time. Get up and move wherever you are unless you're driving the car.
Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bottom of the seventh, Carlos Castro to the plate. Castro has a solo home run tonight that was crushed over the Courier and Press logo in left field. Ground ball over to short. Polston takes a couple of steps and will fire it to first in time for out number one.
Yeah, if you notice, the shortstop bent down to field that ball, and at that time he didn't give it the hot dog try.
And Rizzatello to the plate. So it's clear that with his walk-up song, Frank Sinatra's My Way, 1, Rizzatello's Italian. 2,
really? I didn't know that. My goodness. I thought he was Irish.
He's probably going to talk about this comment when he rewatches the broadcast later tonight or tomorrow. But he's a big fan of Frank. 1-0, lifted in the air, right center field, and it will be caught by Oliver in center for out number 2.
Well, I didn't know Frank, but I did meet his mother. So
what?
Yeah, they used to have a nightclub down in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
back in the good old days?
That was back in the 50s, yes. And
so the Boogie Nights were real back then?
Yeah, and she would sit right by the door. And anyway, it was a small place. It wasn't a big nightclub, but as far as I know, that's where Dean Martin got started.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And again, that's the story. I don't know. But I did meet his mother, so but he's from New Jersey. Frank was from New Jersey.
Calling to the plate, he has a first pitch ball. Got a new bat today. The 1-0 from Rozek be upstairs. Count at 2-0. On deck is J.J. Gould, and it is clear that the new second baseman, Mr. Jacob Adams, has made a very good impression so far today.
He's impressed me, I'll tell you that.
The 2-0 to Hunter. It'd be a called strike on the inside corner. Right at the knees. Count at 2-1.
I was clearing out my attic, and I got quite a few Kansas City Royals bats. I'm talking about the old bats, the wooden bats.
You have a George Brett back?
No, they just have Kansas City written on them.
Okay.
KC Royals has written on them. They were directly from the factory, no player. I used to use them for tryout camps. In fact, I'm giving them away. I was going to give Hunter one and
3-1
Long if they wanted one.
I'm sure they'd be interested.
Yeah. I mean, they're over 40 years old, but they are wood. In other words, they shouldn't break. They've been seasoned. Yeah, when I used to run the tryout camps for the Kansas City Royals, I had all their equipment.
The 3-2 fouled on the third base line.
See, I know you don't know it, and I'm letting the fans know it. Did you ever hear of the Kansas City Royals Academy?
I have not.
Okay. That was a concept that I developed and sold to Mr. Kaufman, the owner of the Kansas City Royals, where the players would go to college in the morning and play baseball in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. Payoff pitch. Ripped to second base on a hop. Galuski to first. A 1-2-3 inning for the Otters and the Boomers as we head to the 8th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 at WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The 4th Annual Burdette Blues Festival on Saturday, July 6th at the Burdette Park Pavilion will feature some of the best blues acts in our area. There'll be barbecue, food trucks, and a beer garden. General admission at the gate will provide ongoing support for blues music in the tri-state. 12 years and younger will get in free. For more information, check out the 91.5 FM WUEV Facebook page or visit EvansvilleBlues.com.
This summer, the Frontier League heads to the Big Apple as its brightest stars battle the Can-Am League's finest in the historic first-ever Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Celebration. It's July 9th and 10th in beautiful Rockland County, nestled in New York City's suburbs. Slide to rocklandboulders.com for tickets and lodging information to see the best baseball stars shine in New York. Again, visit rocklandboulders.com and show support for your team in the Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Game.
He's still throwing a good.
Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the call. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV. And I think, Bill, what you're trying to say is that starting pitcher for the Otters, Tyler Vail, is throwing a good game thus far.
He is throwing. It's in the 8th inning, and his curveball and his slider is just as effective now as it was in the 1st inning. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave him in for 9.
Okay.
We need, you lost 2 of your best pitchers in this league, in Randy and the Irishman, Patty, and you need somebody to look up to, and this is the guy you should, and leave him go 9, because he's got, 8 strikeouts now? But he's throwing strikes. He's one of the most effective curveball slider pitchers I've seen this year. So leave him in. What's the score? 5-0, 6-0?
6-0.
6-0. Got nothing to lose.
First pitch from Vail to Connor Oliver, the center fielder, is outside for a ball. A fastball right there. Vail has 57 strikes, 33 balls heading into this next pitch.
That's less than 100. So if he throws another 15, so what?
1-0 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss right there. That slider, that bit right there. Count at 1-1.
There you get. You see, you just described it. That slider is just as effective now as it was in the 1st inning. He's got those batters going crazy. So leave him in. But again, Monday morning quarterback talking.
Okay. 1-1 the count to Oliver, who is 0 for 1 heading into this at-bat. He walked back in the 2nd, ground out in the 5th, gets a strike outside, count at 1-2.
He made him look like a fool on a sharp breaking slider. Now he comes back with a curve, and it's a called strike. So, give him that slider low and inside now.
The 1-2.
Strike
Called
3.
strike 3. Curveball right there.
Yeah.
And out, number 1. You mind counting the strikeouts for me, Bill?
Yeah, I got 9, if I'm not mistaken.
To the plate.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Pinch hitter, Schaumburg, number 15, Raymond Sierra.
So Sierra pinch hitting for Polston right now. Sierra has a really good arm in the infield. First pitch from Vail. Breaking ball outside. Count at 1-0.
So if he was to finish 9 innings, he has 9 strikeouts. And he's still got 1 in, I don't know, we must, those lights in that out sign must be out. Because
I got 10.
You got 10?
I got 10.
1, 2.
1-0, lifted in the air. Cullen going back, and he'll make the catch near the warning track at dead center for out number 2.
You're right, 10. You're right. Rose got 3 of those strikeouts. Odom's got 2. Golumsky got 2.
Golumsky?
Yeah. Anyway.
Dylan Jones to the plate.
Oh, boy. No, you're right, 10. He's got 10 strikeouts.
So you taught me, I just want to remind myself again. So Galuski spells his name Galusky. And there's also the SKI last name as well. So what is the difference?
The SKY is Jewish.
Okay.
The SKI is Polish.
Got it.
COHEN is Jewish. COHAN is Irish.
Ah.
Cohen. You remember that famous Cohen Broadway shows? George Cohen?
I don't think so.
Oh, they had the good shows, the Broadway shows, back in the 30s and 40s.
Okay. 1-1 the count.
James
Vail will wind and fire.
Ooh.
So another biting slider right there.
I'll tell you what, that is one of the best sliders I have seen in years. I mean, he's got control of that pitch. All right.
1-2 the count. 63 strikes on the day for Vail heading into this pitch. The 1-2. And the dirt. Mike all right?
Yeah.
Looks like he'll tough it out.
Yeah, oh yeah, catchers are tough.
So.
Yeah, he had 2 strikes on them.
Did that
hit
him?
Hit the batter,
Okay.
yeah. It was a slider that slid into his leg. That's why you thought Mike dropped that ball. No, it hit him.
Okay.
It hit the batter.
So now is your guy Galuski, who has 2 strikeouts and has also flown out to shortstop. 2 outs, top of the 8th, 6-0 Otters. This pitch is way inside.
That was a curveball that didn't curve.
So it hung?
Yeah. Well, he released it too early out here, see. Instead of coming down, and as they say, you pull the curtain. He didn't get the curtain. He didn't get the knob on the curtain or the string.
Vail from the belt, the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Now that curveball was good. You know, years ago in Yuma, when the Japanese teams would come over and have spring training, they would stay out on the grounds of the hotel, and I'm talking 11, 12, 1 in the morning, and they all had towels. And I'll tell you in a minute.
The 1-1, inside for a ball. Count moves it 2-1 to Galuski.
Pitchers would have towels, and all they would do was snap the towel to get that snap on the curveball. And it was amazing to see these Japanese like that, you know. I had the opportunity to, they were supposed to send me over to Japan 1989.
And you declined?
No.
The 2-1, whoa. That pitch nearly hit the head of Galuski.
No, there was some change or something in whoever was sending me, what ball club, I don't remember, but there was a change, and Dick Hager and I, we didn't go. But I did some scouting for them, for Japanese teams. In other words, what I was giving my team, I was also giving the Japs.
The 3-1.
Strike.
Yes,
back, boy.
Is.
Get back here.
Curveball from Vail. Makes the count full. What do you think Rizzatello was telling everybody with that hand signal? Is the hang loose sign out there?
Well, I'm going to say there's 2 outs, watch the runner, he's going, and you play it at second if you have to.
Okay. The payoff pitch from Vail. Ground ball. Fielded by Gould to first. That will be over and past Castro. Rizzatello tries to make the play.
Oh, he does. Yay! That Italian boy. That's yours.
And he throws it over to Adams as Galuski tried to extend his single into a double. Heads up play there by Riz. Adams with the tag. We get out of the inning. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the tri-state, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North First Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Leave him in.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Gwynn and Bill McCune on the call. And I think I agree with you, Bill, that the Otters staff should leave Tyler Vale in, and he should go out for the 9th. We have what looks like Malcolm Grady, one of the newly acquired relievers from the Otters, is warming up in the bullpen.
Well, there's no problem in warming up and having someone ready, but give him a chance. But I'd like to make a comment, Dave, on that last play, and that is Mike Rosatelli backing up that throw to get the runner going to second base. Years and years ago, that was one of the fundamental things the catchers always did. Any ground ball, the catcher used to run to first base to back up a bad throw. You don't see that very much anymore. And what Mike did is he went back to the basic fundamentals of what a catcher should do, and it proved to be beneficial.
Well said.
Well, thank you.
J.J. Gould with a 3-0 count, and that's a called strike inside. So the past 4 pitches to J.J. were inside, and he did what you say a handful of times, take a strike.
That's right.
The 3-1 to Gould will be ball 4.
See, now he could have swung at that high pitch and hit a pop fly. This way here, he got his walk.
Jack Meggs to the plate. He's got an RBI double today. He's also hit 2 other hard hit balls to the outfield, one to left, and a hit that was robbed by the first baseman Neporty at the time.
Yeah, he should be in that lineup in right field every day. Hunter should be in that outfield, center field every day.
First pitch to Meggs. Call it strike on the inside corner. Right around the knees. Counted 0-1. We've had a calm, cool night. Over 1,000 here at Bossy Field. And we've been blessed to have good weather today. 0-1. And that pitch is in the dirt for a ball. And I say that because when the Otters were on their road trip last week, they did not play a full 6 games. Their first 3 games at Washington, they only played a game and a half. The second game was called after 6 innings, and it was called final. The Otters lost that one. The 1-1, is away for a ball. Count moves to 2-1 to Meggs. And then the third game against Washington, there's only an inning and a third played.
Wasn't the 2 runs and the 4-2 loss on a shortened game, weren't they responsible by Mr. Ryan Long?
Yes. Yep. 2-run homer.
Yes. Shows you I paid attention.
And then he hit the go-ahead 3-run homer the day before.
Right. But I remember when he hit that, and we said, okay, that's because it was 4-0. And then he hit the home run. I said, oh, boy, now and then you said, oh, here comes the rain. And that was the end. And then they called it right about a half hour later.
And the 3-1, there's a throw over to first. JJ's not tagged out.
They called that game real quick.
They did, and the sad part was when after they called the game, the rain stopped, and they actually could have played.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. 3-1 the count. Rozek still on the hill. The 3-1 to Meggs. Ground ball to first. Throws over to second for 1. Back to first.
Safe.
So it will be a fielder's choice.
You know what? Against Monday morning quarterback, what the first baseman should have done is just moved his leg over to touch the bag.
I thought he was going to do that.
That's what I thought. Then throw it to second, but it had to be a tag at second, not a force. Yeah, he could have got an easy double play, but the Otters benefited.
So here's Jacob Adams, who is 1 for 3 with a single. He's flashed his leather. First professional outing. Looks like he's happy to be here in Evansville. Went to Ole Miss. So playing in the SEC, he knows a thing or two about competitive baseball. He's hit the ball hard throughout the entire day. And, well, I think you said earlier in the broadcast, we might need to find a spot for him.
That's right. At least give him a chance.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Rozek. Count even at 1 with 1 out.
That was a quick bat we just saw. Whatever happened to the other guy that had the quick bat?
Irby?
Irby.
He is standing right here in the dugout.
Oh, okay. He's not on the DL. Okay.
1-1 would be away and high for a ball. Count at 2-1. Meggs on first.
You said Meggs leads the team in stolen bases too, right?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Well.
Next pitch, swing and a miss on a good breaking ball from Rozek.
Now, you notice the difference in the swings, Dave. The one he swung and fouled off, he had a great, fast, hard swing. This one he got fooled in, and it was just a lazy going through swing.
Jack has 11 stolen bases. Next closest man is Hunter Cullen, Dakota Phillips. No, Keith Grieshaber with 9. There we go. Sometimes these stat packs are a little thin as far as the font.
Okay, well, Meggs was, on that last pitch, Meggs was going back to first. The pitcher had him faked out. See him going back.
Pitch, ground ball to the pitcher. And he'll make the throw over to first. Meggs moves over to second, but there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Bring up the top of the order. David Cronin to the plate. So one of the things I learned in one of my conversation with David is that he grew up in the south side of Chicago. And if you grow up in the south side of Chicago, you're supposed to be a Chicago White Sox fan. A majority of David's family are White Sox fans. And he was drafted by the White Sox organization in 2017. But he grew up a Cubs fan. His grandfather influenced him to be a Cubs fan, even though he did not grow up on the north side of Chicago.
Well, I know his parents are listening, and I'm going to say I enjoyed going to the south side to watch the White Sox.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I enjoyed that ballpark very, very much. I did not care for that second oldest or first oldest, whatever, ballpark in the United States, Wrigley Field.
You didn't care for it?
No, I did not. I think
I thought it was cool. I stayed for 4 innings because I had to call the game at Schaumburg, which happened to be McGuff's almost no-hitter that day.
Well, let me put it this way. You were a spectator. You were down sitting in some seat watching the game.
Oh, I was actually standing the whole time.
Okay. But you were a spectator.
Ground ball off the pitcher's mound. Throw to first is in time. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, I was going to say, I was on the field. I was in the dugout. I was in the press room. I was in the locker room. And I was in the radio booth. So I was in quite a few places in Wrigley Field. And I think, I won't say it, I'm on the radio. I'll just leave it there. I think.
You think?
Yes.
You think that we're going to head to the top of the 9th? Is that what you think?
Yeah, and we're going to change pitchers, I have a feeling.
Yeah, so with Tyler Vell ending the day, clearly in line for the win, he pitched a 2-hitter.
Yep.
2-hitter, 10 strikeouts, and he had his curveball, his slider, his fastball, intertwined and mixed up those pitches perfectly throughout the day. I just want to get your comments on Vell's performance.
Mr. Vell, I'm going to say through 105 pitches, just as an example. Out of the 105, I'm going to say 25 out of that 105 were fastballs. 76 or 78, whatever, it was curveballs and sliders. He had great command of those 2 pitches. I believe he should be still in there showing his stuff, which would be a very, very an asset to the starting pitchers on this team to say, hey, we all can go 9. But we have a different philosophy.
So we're going to bring in one of the 2, or we actually brought in 3 new pitchers, 2 of them last week. 2 of them actually attend the same college and have the same birthday. Malcolm Grady and Anthony Arias were college teammates at Campbellsville University. Malcolm Grady on the mound, a right-hander who is from Homewood, Illinois, outside of Chicago. Malcolm is a welcomed addition to this Evansville Otters baseball club, and clearly you can never use enough arms because we lost McGuff, we lost Wynn, and we lost Jock Pichu and Herbeck.
Yeah. Now, where did you say this guy's college?
Campbellsville University. It's in Kentucky.
Okay.
Not far from Florence.
Okay.
So he's welcome to Evansville. He's got a 6-0 lead. He will deal with the first baseman, Neporty, the third baseman, Carpenter, and the catcher, Odo. Neporty is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout, ground out to Vale in the third, and a ground out to Ryan Long in the 6th. Grady, his first pitch is an Otter. Breaking ball for in the dirt for a ball. Count it 1-0. Takes a deep breath. Malcolm Grady will kick and fire, and actually won't because the batter
stepped out.
Neporty will call time. Grady now winds and fires the 1-0. That'll be a called strike inside. Count even at 1.
He's 6'4", 210. Okay, 6'4", 210.
The 1-1 lifted in the air. Cullen will take a few steps backwards, makes the catch, 1 away. Now, I really got to tell you, I know I said it earlier, but Hunter Cullen's speed is so valuable. He does cover a lot of ground out there in center field. I asked him, because no one really likes to run for their enjoyment, but Hunter happens to like it when he's playing in competitive games. He worked on his speed over the offseason at the Proactive Academy out there where he lives in California. First pitch strike inside to Brock Carpenter, who is 0 for 3 today. Carpenter, he grounded out to Adams in the first, grounded out to Long in the fourth, and flew out to Cullen in the sixth.
Dismiss the troops.
Count at 0-2 as Bill is waving to some of his friends here at the ballpark.
That was Sergeant James. That's who I was waving to.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball from Grady. That had some gas right on that one.
Yeah.
2 away. First strikeout as an Otter for Malcolm Grady.
One of our Iraq veterans that has a Purple Heart. And a very, very loyal, devoted Otter fan. And his wife, Gloria, as well.
God bless him.
Yes. I tell you, they've done a lot with the Booster Club for this Otter team.
First pitch to Odo. Breaking ball that misses. So it looks like Grady has a fastball and at times it has some movement so far in this outing.
Well, he showed a pretty good breaking pitch when he was warming up, yes.
Ground ball over to Castro. Nice snag there by Carlos. Touches the bag. Otters win game 1 of the 6-game homestand. Between Tyler Vale and Malcolm Grady, they 2-hit the Schaumburg Boomers. Otters win by a final score of 6-0. We'll come back with the final totals as a great overall performance today by the Otters. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at myMarathonStation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Let's see, what's this record now? 1-3. So now it's 2-3.
That's right, Bill. Tyler Vale's record now is 2-3 as he earned the win tonight. A solid job for Tyler Vale. 10 strikeouts, and he didn't have a lot of trouble. If anything, it was in the first inning because Jones was hit by a pitch, the first pitch of the game, but then he came back with 2 strikeouts and a ground out to Blake Adams, the new second baseman, as of today, for the Otters. Now, we don't know if Cronin's going to be back at second tomorrow or where Adams will fit, but clearly he's not afraid to flash the leather in the infield. Made a handful of great plays as well as a single and hit the ball hard today at the plate. But the overall performance today, we need to talk about Tyler Vale. He earned his first win as a starter, and he was in control literally after he hit Jones. He was in command from the second batter on throughout the game.
Well, I'll agree with you. Yes, the first pitch of the game, he hit Jones in the ankle. And then the next pitch was a little wild to Jimmy. However, then he struck him out, as you said. From there on in, it was downhill all the way for Mr. Vale. He was superb. His slider, oh my goodness, that slider was one of the best you want to ever see. It had a break. I mean break, not just a twist. It had a break. And his curveball had a good bite. So overall, Mr. Vale was super tonight, and I think he should have stayed for the 9 and let him get a full game under his belt, which would have helped the morale of the pitching staff. However, Andy decided to change him, but overall, it was a great victory for the Otters. They had superb hitting, excellent, outstanding pitching, and good heads-up follow-up by that Frank Sinatra favorite in backing up the throw and throwing the runner out second. That was important because that would have put runners on second and third, and that might have really put the screws to Vale. However, his catcher, Ricentelli, saved him. But the thing is, it was a great, great win for the Otters.
No, I couldn't agree more. As a handful of the guys are over there dishing out autographs to a handful of the fans, and it was just overall a great day of baseball. The Otters set the tone from Vale on the mound, and I think they were able to string together quality at-bats to put runs across the plate. Well, we can go to the first. After Griesaber walks, he advances to second, and then Long hits an RBI single to send him home. One of the bigger innings, I believe, was the fourth, when Castro led off with a home run, and then a single by J.J. Gould, the RBI double by Meggs, a single by Adams. Just from those at-bats alone, they're quality at-bats. And the next inning in the fifth, we have a double, a single, and then unfortunately a strikeout and an unassisted out. But the Otters were able to take advantage of opportunities at the plate and string together runs from quality hits when necessary.
Well, I'm going to say this, Dave. I think the most effective batter in this game tonight, he got one base hit, and that was Mr. Cronin. His first at-bat, he put a ball up that was actually over the fence that the right fielder reached up and grabbed it. Okay, so that was an out, but yet an outstanding one. Then he got a base hit. I mean, a solid hit over second base. His next up, he put the left fielder up against the wall in left center. And then his next one, he hits a shot to the shortstop who made an error. But there's 4 times at bat that I tell you what, he abused that ball. He hit that ball so hard, he could be arrested for assault and battery.
I don't know if Dave's parents want to hear that, but I don't know how to follow that one, Bill. But what I can do is we can check the scores around the Frontier League. So the Otters, the Florence Freedom, the Southern Illinois Miners all have over 20 wins. The Florence Freedom are at the top of the Frontier League West Division as we looked at the standings heading into today. The Florence Freedom had 26 wins heading into today. Southern Illinois and the Evansville Otters have 22 apiece as well. And the River City Rascals, who we'll see this weekend, have 20. So in the top of the ninth in Marion, Illinois at Rent One Park, The Southern Illinois Miners are defeating the Windy City Thunderbolts by a score of 11-0. Otters win here at 6-0 here at Bosse Field. In the Frontier League East Division, the Washington Wild Things fall to the Lake Erie Crushers by a score of 5-2. And in the top of the 7th, the Florence Freedom are defeating the Joliet Slammers by a score of 7-3. Who's your MVP today, Bill?
I'm going to give it to Cronin.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I take it back. Please. Yes, Mr. Vale. Mr. Vale has to be the MVP.
Okay. I couldn't agree more. I'll give an honorable mention to Jack Meggs, who also hit the ball hard.
Yes, he did. Yes. I won't take that away. Right.
He was 1 for 3 with the fielder's choice, the RBI double, and clearly that gave him some confidence. And
well, how about that one? He hit the first base and the first baseman, and then he hit a shot to a line drive to left field that was caught. So, yes, there were 2 shots that were out, but they were good, hard hit. And I just want to remind you before you shut off, excuse me, before you close, that chances are I won't be your partner tomorrow night.
Okay.
I have a doctor's appointment. They're going to shove some instruments down my throat. And hopefully they widen my esophagus. I've had problems with my stomach for a while, and I've lost 16 pounds, and I'm not eating that well. So hopefully I'll be back Thursday.
All right, well, Bill, we wish you the best of luck in your doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Yes.
And best of health as well.
Thank you, sir.
Say hello to your wife to me for
I
me.
certainly will. I know she's listening, sweetheart. I'll be home in a minute.
Okay. Well, for our radio engineer, Mr. Paul Mattingly, back in the studio, and my partner, Mr. Bill McCune, I'm Dave Nguyen. Once again, final score here at Bosse Field. Otters win Game 1 of the 3-game set between the Schaumburg Boomers. They throw a 2-hitter thanks to the combination of Tyler Vale and Malcolm Grady shut out the ninth. 6-0 the final here at Bosse Field. Tune in tomorrow, 6:35 start, 6:15 pregame show, right here on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV. Once again, for Mr. Paul Mattingly, my radio engineer, and my partner in crime, Bill McCune, I'm Dave Nguyen, signing off.